Hello, everybody. My name is Paulie. This is the Latino Slant channel, and my co-host for this wonderful show that we're doing, this special end of the year show here. My name is Paulie. This is the Latino Struggles Reviews.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for having me here. If my audience is here, if you guys are coming in, I am not only here on my channel, but we are directly streaming from Paulie with the Latino Slant as well. So go and show him some love and check him out. Get ready to hit that like button 10 times over and, just support us getting into these top movies. This is going to be really interesting.
It's a lot of fun. We have Robert Meyer Burnett in the backstage of the green room. You guys just met. I'm
Yes.
so excited, and we have also too a list from Rosa Parra, movie reviewer. We got some movies. But yes, let's say hello to Struggle Reviews as our audience. Everyone here is welcome in the chats.
Yeah.
Mods, friends, members, make everyone feel welcome. All that good stuff. And let's do the little show intro, and then we'll be right back. Welcome, mi gente, to the final episode of the week for 2023, and we have such a great show. It's the best of 2023 best movies countdown. Top 10, not just from me, but from Robert Meyer Burnett, Rosa Parra, and Struggle Reviews. OMG, let's get this party started. Pues vámonos!
Hey baby, ¿qué pasó? Thought I was your only vato. Hey baby, ¿qué pasó? Won't you give me un beso? Come on,
baby, gather round. Come on, baby, gather round. All right. Hey, baby, ¿qué pasó? That's from Texas, as you are.
I know. I was like, I know that song.
I know Texas Tornadoes. Yo, ¿qué pasó? What's up, baby? Oh.
Always have really good intros, Paulie.
Yeah, that was fun. And anyone that doesn't know Struggles channel, I mean, you guys are just living under a rock. Her channel is incredible. Even your live reviews are just so thorough, so full of energy, very funny too.
Thank you. I'm trying to get like Paulie with my live situations. I learned from Paulie.
Please. But then I loved how you were reviewing the Color Purple yesterday and talking about what's her name, Fantasia, and how she's all woman.
Yeah, all woman, all that thickness they were trying to hide under those 1900 dresses. It wasn't working.
Well, a gentleman who I know who loves women's is here and loves the movies. We love him, Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett.
Thank you for having me. This is a great honor. Struggle, this is the first time we've streamed together. Yeah. Can I call you Struggle?
Of course. Paulie does.
I have to tell you, one of the highlights of my year, speaking of Color Purple, was I was at CinemaCon in Las Vegas. And the first presentation for any movie was Oprah Winfrey coming out on stage. And this is in front of an audience of jaded theater owners. It's a industry. I have to say, I'd never been in Oprah Winfrey's live audience. I'd never even seen her other than on a TV screen and on the movie screen in the original Color Purple. That woman has power. She steps out on a stage and everyone was like, oh, we all gasped, and she brought out the cast and the director. And I will remember 2023 as one of the things was seeing Oprah come out to show the first clips of Color Purple, which I feel terrible that I haven't seen it, but it looks incredible. And I'm a huge fan of the original movie and Quincy Jones's score and Spielberg's direction, of course. But seeing Oprah Winfrey promoting the Color Purple, man, it was pretty epic.
I'm jealous.
It was pretty neat. So I haven't heard. I would assume you love the movie. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
It's a little in the middle. It's in the middle.
Yeah.
I heard that it kind of downplays the seriousness of. I've read Alice Walker's novel,
Yeah.
and it's not all happy sunshine rays.
Well,
So
it is
Well,
PG-13, Robert, so they could only, do so much. I'll say that.
all right.
let's say hello to Struggles chat. I know on Struggles on her channel we have it's J Dub. You didn't miss anything.
Thank you. It's Jada.
Nita, hey, what's going on?
Hello.
K
How you
Bly,
doing?
hello
Thank
K
you.
Bly.
Thank you for being here, Kelly.
Yeah, King Nikki TV. Somebody pass me a margarita. It's another tequila sunrise. Shout! I love to sing, man. Nita, hey everybody, let's celebrate the holiday season with Struggle and Latino Slant and R&B.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Anakin, what's going on? Not Vader. I love all these people. Not Vader.
Hi, Bree.
Hi, Bree. Okay, so let's bring in because I'm truly a little stumped on how to like go about this, guys, because my lovely people, Robert Meyer Burnett and Struggle, they effed up the homework and they got their lists in, but they just gave them to me and they're like, oh, I don't have the top 10. It's kind of free flowing. Let's bring in our producer, Fletcher Williams. How are we going to navigate?
We will make it happen. Duct tape and taco grease.
Taco grasa con grasa.
That's some lard, actual lard, not the Crisco. We're gonna bring out the cans of lard, and that's how we're gonna do it.
I had lard recently. With these, we had an event catered here, and I had this incredible chef Lydia. She made tamales, rice, and beans, and everyone was like, "God, why are the beans so good? Why are the beans so good?" She made them with lard.
Lard. That's the only way to make beans. Any other way, it's
any other way. We
it.
got some wonderful people hanging out in both chats.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, right?
Brandon. It's Brandon.
Brandon.
Yes.
All right, guys. Brandon's got a great channel, Just My Opinion Reviews. I love his channel. I love his takes. I love his vibe. Good dude.
Good dude.
And look who couldn't make it. Rosa Parra. We have her list.
Hi, Rosa.
Hi, Rosa. So, okay. All right. So help me out, guys. Here, should we just like hit number 10, and then I'll tell you mine. I'll tell you Rosa's. Then you guys give me one each.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
You show me yours, I'll show you mine.
Hey.
Oh.
Are you talking to me or you're talking to Struggle?
Latino slant after dark.
Hey, we're an equal opportunity. Whatever you want to show me yours, it's fine. We're all inclusive here.
All right.
Okay.
Let me get the black, things in the background and cover up certain things just in case.
Wait, you lost me here. Okay, so let's play our video. Here we go for our number 10. Here we go. Okay, from Rosa Parra's list, at number 10 is Wonka. Anyone see Wonka?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I saw it. I loved it. I don't know about top 10. Maybe squeaking into my top 20, but definitely entertaining. Great emotional payoff at the end for me. So
not a top 10 and not a top anything for me. I just
Oh.
it was okay. Like it was just simply an okay movie in my book. I wasn't impressed at all.
you duking it out already, man. Look at you. Rosa not even here. I got to defend her honor. Kidding. Roberto.
About Wonka?
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator over and over again.
Yes.
And I would love to see somebody really adapt those books the way that they're written. And I went into Wonka. I thought Wonka was fine. It was a little, I guess the word twee comes to mind. I really love the Paddington movies are really, really great. And so I wanted more. And I wanted more of, to me, the thing about Willy Wonka is he's almost like a demon in a way. And he's testing, you know, the whole thing about the
Dang.
kids. He in the first, especially the way Gene Wilder played him, he's testing all these kids, you know, and if
Sure.
they fail, he's like, I'm gonna go drown you in my river of chocolate. Like you're you're out of here. You know, Mike TV, whatever. And it's I feel
Mike
like
TV.
I mean, it was good. I thought Timothy
Yeah.
Chalamet did a great job. It was just that I wanted a different kind of a movie, I guess, from
Yeah.
it. It was fun.
Okay.
You know?
All right. That was Rosa's number 10. Okay, let me give you my number 10. It is called Anatomy of a Fall.
Oh, dude, so
And
good.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah. This is, I believe, a French production, even though the film itself is mainly in two languages, French and English.
Yeah.
And even that lends itself to being a character in the film. This woman is put on trial for supposedly murdering her husband, and her half-blind son is one of the witnesses, and it is incredible. Incredible. This just made my list. This actually bounced air out of my top 10, Robert.
Oh,
Sandra Hüller is the German actress, and in the story, she's a German married to a Frenchman. They met in they're both writers. She's more famous than him, and they moved to a remote kind of like
Chateau.
Yeah. And it plays as if it's half a documentary, like you're watching this on ID channel, and then it's full drama. Rob, do you want to?
Well, it's kind of like that documentary, The Staircase, and it's one of the characters dies in mysterious circumstances, falls and dies, and the other character is a suspect, and it goes through the court case that it turns more into an examination of their life, you know, of their relationship, and it's a whodunit, but it's also a pretty in-depth examination into a relationship that is not as good as it could be. You know, but it's really compelling, and if you know, it raises a lot of interesting questions, but then you also have the whodunit aspect, like did this person kill this other person? Did that happen? And if so, why? And what could have possibly led up to this? But I'm trying not to, I don't want to spoil anything, because it's really one of the best movies of the year, I think.
So correct. I loved your analysis of it, because the thing with this film is that you don't know if you like her or not. I don't know if I like her or not, so that means I don't know if I believe her or not. Yet she's so cold, you know, in that German way. But then, you know, there is warmth, and then she has a relationship with her son. This woman is in actually two incredible films this year. This one and A Zone of Interest.
Well,
you saw that one?
That's my number 10 pick.
Oh, okay. Well, save it real quick. Save it real quick.
Yeah,
we'll transition. But with Sandra Hüller, and in this film, guys, and if you're just hearing this, write this down. Go see this movie. You can buy it on streaming right now. There's so many incredible scenes in the courtroom drama. They get to this scene where her late husband used to record their arguments, and so the courtroom is listening to the argument, and then we jump into the scene, and it's a long scene. It is not a short scene, and it just got me, dude. And then, of course, the son was amazing as well. But Anatomy of a Fall is my number 10. Now let's go to RMB'S number 10, and that is
my number 10 is in fact Zone of Interest.
Okay,
and this is it's an adaptation of a book by, I want to say, Martin Amis, an English writer, and it was directed by Jonathan Glazer, who's only made 4 movies over the last 23 years. He made Sexy Beast He made the movie Birth with Nicole Kidman. He made another adaptation, a crazy. It's crazy. It's not crazy, but it's it's one of my favorite science fiction movies of the last 20 years, called Under the Skin, that stars
Really good.
Scarlett Johansson as an alien. Believe it or not, an alien observing the Earth, and if you don't know that, maybe I spoiled something going in, but it's a fascinating movie. I had read the book, but I loved it. But so Zone of Interest it's truly about the banality of evil, and it's about a family, a nice German family, whose father is like the commandant of a concentration camp. And they live right outside of the concentration camp, but they're trying to lead this bucolic upper crust life. And in the distance, you see smoke, and you sometimes hear gunshots, and it's truly chilling. It is truly a chilling film. It's very clinical, and it's really horrific, but it also shows, like, there you go. There's an example of this bucolic life they're leading right next to a concentration camp.
Wow.
And it really hits hard, especially with a lot of the other things that have been going on in the world today. But again, it presents, I think it presents a well-trodden tale, the tale of the Holocaust and what happened, in a really interesting, chilling way that truly gets under the skin, which is, considering that was his last movie, maybe that's what he was going for. But it's really well made, and I found this to be, I mean, this is not your feel-good movie, but it's truly, I think, an important film, and one that definitely lingers with you.
Wow.
Wow.
Right?
I mean,
Somber.
boom.
Sorry.
Oh,
You want me to
No,
follow
no.
that?
that
Paulie?
bring the mood down, Mr.
Listen,
Big Man.
listen. Don't be sorry. Let us say hello to everyone watching on Struggles channel on Twitter, as well as here on Latino Slant. Hello, everyone. Do me a favor and make sure you are subscribed to all of our channels: Robert Meyer Burnett, Struggle Reviews, and here the Latino Slant. Okay, Struggle.
I mean,
What's your number 10?
Robert set the standard over there.
No.
Like, break the chain of these really intense movies. My number 10 is Rya Lane. It is a British romantic comedy. Has these two wonderful black leads, young unknowns. They are trying to pretty much run around the UK, coasting each other through their most recent breakups, and it is just really, really good. Like, it was nothing that I was looking for. I just happened to be on Hulu one day, and I saw black people, and I clicked, honestly. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a really, really great gem of a movie. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody seemed to have seen it, but it was one of the best romantic comedies that I have seen in a very, very long time.
That sounds great.
Yes. Yes, this was great. Like, this was so incredible. And I'm hoping that it gets, a little bit more notoriety, because Paulie was like, what? I haven't met anyone besides D in the chat. I see you, D.
What's
To
up,
just
D?
be like, hey, this was, a really great movie. But if you are into romantic comedies, and it's really hard to pull a laugh for me these days with movies like a romantic comedy, but it's just traditional in the sense of those comedies that we love, maybe from the 80s. Like, it's written really, really well, and you really grow with these characters, and you care about their journey. It's almost like it gives you like a chase vibe. They're just constantly going from place to place, and you meet all of these incredible people, and they just have all this background, and it's not boring at all, and you just fall in love with these characters as they fall in love with each other. So if you like that, you should definitely check it out.
Is there a comedy kind of like I could compare it to a little bit, like this vibe, or because like a British comedy, then this couple being both black, it's like that's, to me, very rare, which is fantastic.
Yes, it is. That's what I thought. That's why I watched it.
Right.
That's why I watched it. It's really hard, because there's really not anything that I could compare to. It was really refreshing But if I had to
Okay.
pick anything, I can't even like get the feel of it, but it's that feel when you would watch movies like About Last Night, or it just gave me
Oh,
80s, like things that I really, really loved,
Really?
or Say Anything, and those type of things. Like I think it's Something New, and just all of those 80s classic romantic comedies that we like. It felt
people
like
do not
that.
talk about Last Night enough.
Yeah, right.
Me-
It
But is
was
she a professional?
yeah, it was no. It was a bit of those, but more in a contemporary setting, because these are two very young people falling in love and running around the UK, just getting into all of this debauchery and kind of coasting each other through these breakups and trying to put on a tough face as if like, oh, they didn't break up with me, I broke up with them. And you know what? I don't even care because I took control of this. Meanwhile, they're crying and masking their feelings for what really happened, and you just kind of see them unfold and be truthful with who they really are and who they want to be with. So just check it out.
I love it because I haven't heard of this film ever, and
Mhm.
this is another great thing about sharing our lists is that there's
Right.
going to be a couple of them where it's just like, huh, what? Fantastic, Fletcher, what's going on?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's nice to see where everybody has like a different take on like what movie did they see and what kind of like touched them in a way. And
Mhm.
it's so across the field, and it's so awesome because you're here in the background going like, okay, I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna go, okay, when I I'm
Yeah.
gonna check this out, witty comedy or just like the
Yeah.
drama with a concentration camp and
Oof.
some like hippies on the side. I'm like, whoa, this is definitely a movie that my wife's gonna make me have to watch. It's art
And our
house.
our panelist who couldn't make it but did her homework.
Thank you,
Whoa.
Rosa, for your
This is the
homework.
last time I'll make you guys feel. I know you guys are really. Rosa Parra, who is a film reviewer, we love her to death. Rya Lane is excellent. There you go.
Thank you, Rosa.
Yeah.
Oh, we got
I
a
really
super
want to see
chat,
this.
Paulie.
What's that?
Got a super chat. So we're gonna have
We do have a super chat. Here we
Yeah.
go. This is from your channel, so why don't you read it?
Thank you so much, Dane, for that $2 super chat. Tyra, you gonna have to split this super chat 4 ways. I will do what I can. This is YouTube. I will try. Thank you so much for that, Dane C.
Oh, and you know what, Dane C? This you're not used to our little videos here, so we're gonna hit. Yeah, let's just do it. Here we
He's the
go.
best.
See, you gotta get them. The first one, boom, and then later on you do the La Bamba, you do the Chihuahua videos. I didn't want to start off cutesy.
How?
Boom.
Boom, get that grito going.
That's
Okay, what do we have? So thank you, Dane C, so much.
Yes.
That's way cool. We do love super chats. We do love it all, and we also have a PayPal link. What's going on in the chat though, Fletcher, on the Latino Slant channel?
on the Latino Slant channel, well, everybody's greeting and stuff. The Equalizer is saying that it's great to see. It's refreshing that people have taken a liking to movies that are not blockbusters. Orcs are supposed to be blockbusters on the list. Yeah, it is great to see that all these smaller movies that maybe not so small, maybe don't get the attention they deserve, but they're well made, especially for people nowadays, especially around YouTube. We won't name any names, but it looks like a lot of people are like, hey, there's no good movies around, and then they're like, man, we got a ton of movies. When everybody's
2023 was a great year for film. It really was. And I think when you really delve into it, there's a lot of great stuff that came out this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I think these lists are going to show that because a lot on this list are a lot of films that are not sequels, not franchises, et cetera, like original new films. And I agree with you, Rob. I really do. But then again, me and Rob have gotten shit because we love Matrix.
Resurrections.
What? No, that's
Hey, we
see,
saw it in the theater.
the minorities
together.
in the bottom are like, what?
I think that movie's misunderstood.
We are so misunderstood. We are so misunderstood.
Woo.
Please
We are
don't
so-
let me be misunderstood.
Yes. Oh
Why
Lord.
would you bring that up, Paulie?
Oh Lord. Please listen. You know what? You're real. You know, I don't know what's going on with the attitude today, but because you're so fine, I'm gonna let it slide. And you're so brilliant.
Thank you,
I threw in the
Paulie.
brilliant there, but really, you're so fine. Okay, so we also have a voting poll going on, Fletcher, which is what I want you to promote.
Yeah, so basically, we have voting up. I don't know if Struggle Side can see this, but what was 2023? And we have 1, a good movie year, 2, just all right, 3, the worst movie year, and 4, 2 tacos short of a meal. And right now, 2 tacos short of a meal is winning with 37%.
So yeah, no, you have to go to my to Latino Slant window and to vote if you want to vote. You don't have to, but that's what's going on. And I love seeing the interface here in our StreamYard because we're getting both channels.
Yeah.
Which is really
That's
cool.
wild. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Finally, StreamYards does something good.
Right. Okay,
Right.
so let's move on. Fletcher, what do we got? Number 9?
We got number 9. Yeah.
Here we go. And Rosa Parra's number 9 is, if I can find it. Come on, I know it. Godzilla -1.
Oh, see that?
Oh.
Godzilla.
-1.
Down Tokyo.
Any comments, guys?
That's way higher on my list.
I haven't
love this.
seen it.
I love this movie. You know, ever since I was little, when I was a little kid, when I was like 5 years old, this was the Godzilla movie that I had in my mind when I first watched Godzilla. This is what I wanted to see. I just didn't know it yet.
Yeah.
And as a lifelong Godzilla fan, you know, there's a whole strata of different kinds of Godzilla movies. And this film was quite serious. You know, dealing with post-war Japan, dealing with survivors' guilt. There was a lot in this movie. And, you know, even when I was a kid, I'm like, enough. I want to see Godzilla fight other monsters. That's what you want to see. Or like in Godzilla versus the Astro Monster, aliens borrow Godzilla and Rodan and then launch an attack on the Earth with King Ghidorah. This was not like that. You know, this dealt with it was a really, even if Godzilla wasn't in this movie, it would have been a very compelling film. And I think that's a great indication. And this is the second Toho, the company that created Godzilla. They had another movie come out, I don't want to say 5 years ago, Shin Godzilla.
Yeah.
Where it was a modern day film where Godzilla was treated as more of a natural disaster. And it looked at the Godzilla from the FEMA's point of view. You know, like what would FEMA do if instead of hurricanes or tornadoes or storms or something, what would happen if Godzilla washed up on our shores and started wreaking havoc? So that was a really interesting way to look at Godzilla. And then they reinvented, I think, the film. You get great monster action too. I mean, don't get me wrong, Godzilla smashing stuff. It's probably the visual effects, the way it was directed. It's an incredible fantasy film, but it had a lot more meaning than just.
I'll check it out.
It rated way higher for me, but Rosa Parra said Godzilla -1 is easily the surprise of 2023, an epic monster film that gives plenty of attention to the human story. Perfect. Thank you.
I'll check it out. There's so many Godzilla films. Normally, when they drop, I'm like, oh, it's another one in the pond. I never like check for them. It's rare. So if you guys are praising it and saying it's even higher on your list, I'll check it out.
It's definitely worth seeing. There's a lot to it. It'll surprise you.
Okay. Definitely worth seeing. Absolutely. Okay, so we're up to my number 9. Is that right, Fletcher?
Yeah. So go ahead.
Okay. This was part of the first part of the year was in my top 5, and that is Sound of Freedom. And so it's not that it's gone down to number 9. It's just placing everything. I can tell you that this film left me and Chris Gore and a couple of our other dude friends when we were watching this. in tears at the end of the film.
Mhm.
So it was a huge emotional impact for me. The directors from Mexico, Alejandro Monteverde, who himself lost his father and his brother to the cartels. So he's got he's got a real invested interest in these kind of message movies, especially when it comes to children. Great. I think to me, I think Caviezel's just an incredible leading man. I just find
Yeah.
him riveting. I always have. And yeah, it is a hard watch.
Mm.
I will tell you that. And it's now you can now see it on Prime. Cut out all the noise, the outside noise. I just look at this film for what it is. It's also shot very well. It's a beautiful looking film. So that is my number 9. I don't know if you guys had any thoughts on that.
I've seen it. I was messy watching it. I watched it because of all of the negative press that was attached to it. And it felt like it was concealing it, like it was something shameful to be seen. Like, how dare they try to, have people. I was like, what is. Then I watched it. I was like, this is a really good movie. I didn't understand what all of the hoopla was about. Now, myself in turn, anytime I get a story that's based on anything true, always go and investigate to try to get to who this man really was. And I was doing homework where I didn't need to, because I was not going to talk about this movie, but I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
But just
Sure.
just based off of the movie in general, like, it is very, very moving. I didn't quite get to, I was moved. I didn't cry. I was being strong. I didn't cry, but it does get you to that point of maybe it being a true tearjerker, because you get to see how far somebody will go for these children. And it was really nice. And I also like the way that I sometimes stay away from these type of movies when it comes to this particular brutality when it's concerning children, because I get concerned with what kind of predicaments they're going to put the actual children in and how it's going to be predicted on screen. But I felt like it was done really tastefully, and it was just enough for us to get the gist and like, oh Lord, like I was really caring for these children, but they didn't also have to exploit them to get that emotion out of the audience. But yeah, as soon as he, I don't want to spoil it, got the babies back to where they needed to be, it is an emotional situation.
Just hearing you talk, I'm gonna watch all your movie reviews. I'm going to YouTube right now, and I'm subscribing to you right away.
Bro, don't get too distracted. You can literally watch her old school reviews.
I won't. I just subscribed.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I mean, like yeah.
Did we need
you
this
know what?
reimagining of The Color Purple? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
That's funny. That's
I'm
funny.
in though.
Okay.
I'm in.
Okay, so what do we got? That was
number 9.
That was
So,
9. Now we're
yeah.
moving up to 8.
Wait, we got Mr. Burnett's.
Oh, if you want to say anything about Sound of Freedom.
I no, it's not on my list. But I mean, but I thought it was a good movie. But we haven't.
Now everyone's gonna do their. I'm confused.
We have to do our. You only given
no,
number
you're
9.
Probably just want to skip us.
Yeah.
Well, kinda. No, that's fair. All right. So who's first? Struggles.
No, Robert goes next.
Oh, do I go next?
Yes.
My number 9. Okay, there's a weird subgenre of movies that came out this year, all about how did a product hit the market. We had Tetris, which and they were all pretty good movies. We had Blackberry. We had the movie about flaming hot
Cheetos.
Yeah. And I've liked all of these movies, but then my favorite was Air. I know it was on your top 10, Paulie. You said I loved this movie. This was Ben Affleck coming back to direct his 5th movie. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were in this film. It had a great cast. Chris Tucker's in this. Marlon Wayans is in this. Jason Bateman is in this. But I have to say, again, I will watch any movie that this woman is in. Viola Davis, with her actual real husband, played played Michael Jordan's parents. And what I heard this story. So they went to Michael Jordan himself does not appear in the movie. You hear his voice.
Great move, by the way.
On the phone. Great move. But they went to him, and it was him. So he said, I want Viola Davis to play my mom. Oh. And they were like, because of course, that means the price goes up. But when Michael Jordan speaks, you have to listen. But Viola Davis is so good in this role. This scene in particular, she just but I love this whole movie. And I also heard Matt Damon say he put on some weight for this role, and that his wife, when his wife saw this movie, she said, "You look terrible in this film."
He did.
and I because he was supposed to be this haggard guy,
Yeah.
but I found this movie to be utterly delightful. And it's an underdog story, and I didn't, it's about the creation of the Air Jordan shoe,
Mm.
and how, not just about how the shoe itself got made, but basically how Michael Jordan's mother revolutionized how athletes are going to get paid from then on. And it was a period piece. Obviously, it was set in 1984. And this movie, it's light and breezy, like its name, Air, but it is also it's a feel-good movie. And I mean, you can be cynical about how shoes are made or something like that, but really the people, they conjured this out of thin air, and it really changed the way things are done, and I love this movie, loved it, wildly entertaining.
I mean, his speech alone was pretty uplifting. Yeah, it was my top 10. It was number 10, and then I saw Anatomy of a Fall. I was like, sorry, but it's honorable, definitely honorable mention. Was one of the better films of the first part of the year, and yeah.
I love these lists. Like, I love these lists because you guys are so engulfed in the contemporary world of movies, whereas I only do my paid content and they request mostly old movies. So when I do watch movies, I try to get as far away from everything as possible and watch easy breezy films. So I have not seen I have
Oh,
not
you haven't seen Air? That's all right.
I have not seen Air. And I'm like,
It's on
once
Prime.
again with my
Yeah.
Rya Lane, when I give my number 9, you're like, what?
It is on Prime, and it would be interesting to see if Viola gets in a Best Supporting nomination, because you talk about doing so much with so little.
Yeah.
Pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we, Fletcher?
We're at number 9. So we got now we just need the Struggles number 9.
Oh, Struggles number 9. What is your
really cute? I'll keep it
what-
really cute. My
what's your
number
number
9
9?
is Polite Society.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
It is a
Tell
British
us about this film.
Pakistani martial arts, like kind of low key, a little dark comedy situation.
Mhm.
Wow. Sounds good to me.
It's totally a spin on the narrative of what a traditional Pakistani woman would be. You have these very two really close-knit sisters, and they're going against the grains of what's expected of them traditionally, while it's all being done to this comedic beat, and you have these really intense martial arts scenes out of nowhere where they're being destructive, destroying everything in the house, and it's just normal because that's what. And we have the our main character. She wants to be a stunt woman, so she's forever practicing to do that. And when her sister kind of drops her ambitions as an artist to get married to this man that is just supposed to be everything, but she knows something is off about him, and he just happens to be under the thumb of this really strong, corrupt mother who is doing some secret laboratory things to these women. She has ill intentions for who her son wants to marry, and she's trying to get her parents and her sister to see that before it's too late. But it is such a good time. I had so much fun with this movie, and if it was any other genre and anybody else was here, it would be getting praised for the martial arts work and just how well written I felt like it was. This was really, really good. All the
It sounds
characters
great.
it was, and just getting into like world building and richness. It kind of reminded me a little bit of RRR. It was with the costuming, and it looked really, really beautiful. A lot of things make your eyes dance, and it's very rare that we get a legit woman villain, especially an older Pakistani woman. I thought that was really, really great. So if you're interested in any of that, please check this movie out. I loved it.
I think I remember this movie came out earlier this year, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't really make the splash I think they were hoping it would
Yeah.
make. I didn't see it. It looked interesting enough, but I'll put this on my list to see.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. It's really, really fun.
It's actually on my list to see with my wife.
You're
Oh.
gonna love it.
And Rosa
Awesome.
Parra chimes in. Polite Society was such a blast. Glad it's getting some love.
Yeah, Rosa, you're supposed to be here. You're supposed to get this cake.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
she
super
How's
cute,
she on the
Rosa.
chat and she's not here?
she's got double duty jobs today, and she couldn't. She was trying to push for a Saturday, but it's all
If you
good. She's
like
here with us
stunt
in
work
spirit.
and
Yeah.
stunt choreography and those type of things, you get like these really great women doing it. Look it up.
There you go. There you go. We have a couple of chats here. Olaf Vanes, who's been a member for 16 months.
Yeah.
Hola, Olaf. Hola, Latinos. I just want to wish you all a great and successful 2024. Thank you for all the friendship and content over the past year. Gracias. Olaf is a fantastic moderator to a lot of amazing channels.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, hermano. Dane
Cheers,
C.
Olaf.
This is you. This is all you.
Yeah.
I knew you would come with the mess, Dane. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, Dane. Waiting to see who's going to put Barbie on their list. I don't know, Dane. It's definitely not me. And you know it's not me because I'm sure you've seen our review. It's not me, but maybe
What?
somebody would have, put it there. Maybe.
But struggles,
Anybody
you haven't
think?
changed your mind.
No, I have not. It is. I don't know if we're gonna do like an honorable situation, but it is over there. But top anything, no,
Yeah.
I was half and half with this movie with my expectations, but not for me, Dane.
Dane, you're just gonna have to watch this entire stream. That's what you're gonna
Yes.
have to do. And Dane and Olaf, thank you for the super chats and the chats and the support and love and all these channels. This is a little chihuahua just for you. Okay,
Man, I love those videos. They never get old.
Yeah, I try to mix them up. I had a really bad one of Christmas Gorgu getting electrocuted. I had to take it down. It's pretty funny though. Let me say hello to one of our brothers, Sporking News podcast. Scott, what's happening, brother? Good to see you here. Miguel Farah, some great movies, but they were shining exceptions to the dark norm. It does not go unnoticed that most good movies this year have been made outside the USA. And we will, that is a good point, because that is a majority of my top 10, Miguel. And you bring up some interesting points, as you always do. You got anything to say about that, Mr. RMB?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I think that what Americans forget is there's a vibrant film industry all over the world, and it's always best. I think Chris Gore talks about this being your media diet. And it's always good, I think, to diversify your media diet. And literally, I think that there's a lot of just tremendous movies, a lot of which we don't get here, certainly not theatrically. But thank God for, like, Netflix, love them or hate them, they're always finding things. I mean, they're bringing shows from around the world, and I always encourage people to look into films. I mean, finally, Parasite made it so you had a Korean film win Best Picture. One of my favorite movies, it's on my list, we've talked about before, spoiler alert, is Past Lives. And that was a film made by a female Korean director, living here now, but dealing with her actual experience. And that movie I thought was just beautiful and sublime, and shot on film, by the way. Past Lives, and a gorgeous film. I bought the Blu-ray. I've watched it like 6 times just to bit bad, and it's a quiet little movie. It's not going to blow anyone's dress up, but it's a beautiful, beautiful, sublime work, I think. And that was something that kind of knocked me out.
This is all you.
Hey, Mara, thank you so much for that $2 super chat. Barbie is a meh movie, and thanks for your honesty. I'm always going to be honest, no matter what. Thank you so much, Mara.
Thank you. And it goes on to say, and series, 30 Coins is my favorite series on HBO Max from Spain, I believe. Yeah, it's an international production, and you're seeing a lot of joint productions. Which I will, which goes to one of the films in my top 10. Actually, technically, Sound of Freedom was as well. It's a joint production with Fox and Fox Columbia, and they filmed those at the Fox Columbia studios in Columbia.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, all right. So where are we, guys? How are we feeling on the chat? How are we feeling on this panel? You guys liking
I
your
love
movies?
it. Nobody's the same so far. I love it, especially
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know what movies, where you got those movies from. Just kidding.
Well, Paulie, I watch, when you guys are speaking of Netflix and foreign situations, like I love series. A lot of my time is spent watching series. So my favorite thing this year was probably Mask Girl. I love Mask Girl on Netflix and most of the foreign, Japanese, Korean, all of those things. That's where a lot of my time goes
Yeah.
to just sit and watch and soak in something.
Interesting. Yeah, I saw Beef. What's the one that we reviewed?
Gosh.
The Killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Swarm.
Swarm.
Mhm.
And then my comedy.
The German series Swarm?
No.
No,
Danny.
it's
Danny.
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover.
Oh, right. There's another called Thus.
You should check. You should check that out.
Yeah, I will do that.
Television's been fantastic as well.
Yeah.
Television. I mean, comedies This Fool and Primo This Fool even more so because it was so much about a lot of my family members that this is how we clown.
I love that show.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we, Fletcher?
We're at number 8.
Ooh, here we go. Okay, let's play the intro. All right, Rosa Parra's number 8. Is the wrestling biopic film from a wrestler. What? I thought I typed it. Yes, Cassandro.
Never seen
Cassandro is a film. It's streaming now. It's on Prime, starring Gael Garcia Bernal. Yes, that's him. If you can recognize him from Mozart in the Jungle and Werewolf by Night. This is the same actor. He plays the first famous gay Mexican wrestler.
Luchador.
A luchador. And it is an incredible story and a worthy performance. I prefer the actual doc compared to the film, but it is it was really well done. It was really well done, and I will leave it there. I don't know if anyone on the panel has seen it.
No,
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Lily, 300 Mirrors. I enjoyed it, and I love Gael. Yeah, I would say this. Gael definitely swings for the fences in this. He goes, and he's always done that in his career, working with Pedro Almodovar, working, in Mexican cinema, and then, like I said, you've seen him in some English stuff, but this is like a crowning moment for his career, and it deals with a man who has a troubled family. Comes from abject poverty in El Paso, Juarez, on the border, and has big dreams. And he's got a lot of other problems as well. So it's definitely a really good watch. Really good watch. Cassandro, and that is Rosa's number 8. Let me just say thank you to all the people, combined over 55 people watching our streams. That is beautiful. This is a lot of fun. Hola and hello to all the struggles people watching. Much love. And any notes on Cassandro, guys?
It sounds interesting. I would love to see it. This is not. I've never even heard of this movie.
Yeah, it came out a few months ago, and definitely in kind of the Latin film circles, got a lot of notoriety. Got a lot of notoriety. I mean, because of Gael's huge. Gael's him and Diego Luna are probably one, over the last 20 years, the biggest Mexican film stars. Fletcher, you wanted to add anything?
Yeah, and it was a very artistic film, and also I think a lot of the hype that surrounded was also because one of the actors in it is Bad Bunny, and he's
Oh.
right now like the
Right.
it guy there, and he played the lover of Cassandro on this, so it was like a big deal
Oh.
for for Latino audiences and Latino grandmas everywhere.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because Rosa's not here. I did a review with Lily. We talked about it. In that, I felt that they just had Bad Bunny in there just to be that
Mhm.
that extra lover interest, but you already had a relationship with another character that was much more rooted in his story. The Bad Bunny thing was just nonsense because he
Mhm.
was also his drug dealer. It's like, come on. His real life, the real life Cassandro has dealt with sobriety for decades. I find that way more interesting than him and his many lovers in the film. So I thought that got a little unnecessary, but that's just me. What do I know?
They gotta
That's just
service
me.
the fans, Paulie.
You got to service some Bad Bunny fans, huh?
Mhm.
He's trying to, make his way to become an actor. Okay, is it my turn?
uh, yeah,
Number
we did
8.
Rosa, and we did you.
Rosa. Okay, number 8 for me. Did I write this down? Give me a second, guys. All right, didn't write it down, but I got the image ready. From Argentina. This is a dual production with
Aw.
Shudder
Hmm.
and Argentina. It's called When Evil Lurks.
Oh. I just saw the little girl. I'm like, it's a horror.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Mhm.
Let me just tell you guys. Anyone on the panel see it?
No, I
No, but
wanted
I've
to.
I've seen the trailer for it, and I want to see this.
I do. Meant to.
The director is Demian Rugna. He's from Argentina. It's shot in Argentina. The story, without major spoilers, it is set in a rural town of Argentina, to where evil, demonic possession is spread like a virus, and it is so disturbing, so absolutely, like, it just kind of it gets into, because you see how different people and where they're at in their lives, whether they're resistant to it or they get the disease real fast.
Hmm.
And there's one particular gruesome scene, hint there.
Oh no.
But like a Talk to Me, it's 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 a horror film that kind of just goes beyond its genre. I don't know,
Right.
R&B.
Well, I think those are the best kinds of horror movies.
Yeah.
Slasher movies tend to not go very far outside of their genre, but when you see, look, there's something also about possession, demonic
Mhm.
possession, and The Exorcist is one of my not only my favorite horror film of all time,
There you go.
but The Exorcist is not just about possession. You have a priest that's lost his faith in God and is
Mhm.
riddled with guilt over his mother dying when he wasn't there, and in confronting what may or may not be demonic possession, he finds his faith in God again and is able to save the soul of an innocent. So there's a great horror movie. I mean, I'll watch anything. You say the word possessed, I'll watch anything. The devil's one of my favorite antagonists. So you show me
Yeah.
anything about possession, I'll watch it.
Well, also too, environment. It's in rural
Yeah.
Argentina, so you're just like, what? And these guys, the two main guys, are brothers, and they're kind of country bumpkins. But one of the brothers has major mental issues that he's been dealing with, so that is really interesting.
Mm.
But also too, there's almost like a uh, what's the word I'm looking at? There's a government procedure
Yeah.
on, if there is a demonic uh, uh, happening, you get a hold of the government, and they have a procedure to where they'll come out and take care of it.
Mm.
So it's like an
just
alternate future or alternate universe where demonic possession is normal? Like they have to have to the point where they have to have a government agency, or is it still
It's
sort of in the shadows?
it's very much, yeah, it's still in the shadows. It's
Okay.
not as kind of like overt like that, but also too, I think it's because they're in the country, they're so disconnected from
Yeah.
maybe, to where they asked the local sheriff to make the call into the government, and he's like, no.
Yeah. Rural Argentina is very isolated.
Yeah. Yeah. And
The government sucks.
I just also want to say, so the actors are amazing. The pacing is one that just you're watching this drama, and then pow, and it's not like a Hollywood gotcha or jump scares, none of that. But when the violence happens, you're really left. It's like scars on you. It's an incredible film. And I also want to say one last thing about this film. First co-production that Shudder has ever done with Latin America, and so it's on Shudder, streaming on Shudder right now, guys.
Nice.
Yeah. And K Bly, creepy ass visuals. This was unhinged. K Bly saw it. There you go.
I'm in. Count me in.
Okay, that is number one.
I did not see Bird Box Barcelona. Ooh.
I did.
Yeah.
Didn't compare to the first one.
Cute doggy.
I watched it too.
Yeah. Okay, where are we, guys? This is great. Having a great time.
It's Robert's turn.
Number.
Oh yeah. Number 8.
This is a movie that I heard about on the festival circuit that I really wanted to see, and it was exactly what I wanted it to be. Again, female director named Chloe Dumont. This movie is called Fair Play, and you can see it. It's streaming on Netflix, and it stars Phoebe Dynevor and Alden Ehrenreich, who played Han Solo, young Han Solo, and they play two hedge fund managers at this high-powered New York hedge fund company, and they're in love and they're going to get married, but they had to keep their relationship separate. And they have a very steamy, I'm always complaining there's no more erotic films being made anymore because pornography is so rampant. It's just killed anybody doing any erotic films. But this film opens with, dare I say, a banger of a scene that I very much appreciated. But what ends up happening with this is the guy is passed up for a promotion, and his girlfriend gets the promotion instead, and their relationship goes from there. And it goes, the guy spins off into as the woman does her job, gets this promotion, and she's very much loved at this company, and her abilities are extraordinary. He's revealed to be not as extraordinary as even he thinks he is. And the jealousy of what's going on of both losing the promotion and what he thinks is going on with his his fiance, he just spirals into, he basically just becomes this pathetic worm of a guy. And the jargon is such, like, you really feel like you're in this world of high finance. It really feels like Chloe did her research. But this is not, I'll tell you one thing, I'm surprised because for all the people that are talking about this is the most emasculating movie ever to watch.
Why am I going to see that?
And you know what? And that's my biggest criticism is, like, a white dude. This is the most sniveling white dude failing miserably, but I loved it. I mean, I'm watching this and it's just like, because he turns into such, can I say little bitch? Such, I mean,
you can't on my channel.
And I loved it. And his performance was great. Basically, the performances in this movie are all around great. But this movie made me uncomfortable. And I love when, I mean, it seems counterproductive to say that, but if the movie's good enough where I'm just like going, oh man, dude, don't do that. And it's just, and it was only like 90 minutes. Maybe it was, it just felt like it was not. I really like this movie. Maybe it's not for everybody, but it's on
You're
Netflix.
selling it.
And the performances are great. And yeah, I like this movie a great deal.
What's
And
the gentleman's name again? The actor.
Alden Ehrenreich.
He's had a little bit of a comeback year, huh?
Yeah, I mean he's absolutely terrific in this. He was obviously in Oppenheimer, because everybody is in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, but he had a great role in Oppenheimer.
Yeah, he did, and he's terrific in this, even though you really hate him by the end of the movie.
Wow,
I mean, I wanted to reach into the screen and throttle this guy, and tell him, slap him in the face, and say, "Man up, you punk!" But he doesn't.
I want to see it so bad now.
Now I want to see it. Put it on the list.
Selling it.
Put it on the list.
And it's on Netflix. You know, it's funny because it really did well on the festival circuit. That's where I first read about it. And I haven't talked to anybody that even seen this movie or knows it existed, but it felt like I was at the beginning of the year, I was reading all about it. And it kind of, it's, you know, it's weird when we live in a world where, you know, there's this whole thing about streaming, but I'm a firm believer in movies going into the theater, but they need to be promoted so people know that they're out there. And I think this feels like, you know, it would have the same way like Fatal Attraction or Indecent Proposal, like Adrian Lyne movies, made you come out of the theater and have the conversation. Like, would you let your significant other sleep with Robert Redford for $1 million? You know, and it became this sort of, it became a cultural touchstone where people had these conversations. Like in Fatal Attraction, everybody was talking about what Michael Douglas did, and was Glenn Close wronged, or did Michael Douglas deserve what she did to him? And this, I feel that this movie would have had more discussion if more people saw it. Like, it would have been a cultural thing where people would have been talking about over the water cooler. But yeah,
you got one fan in the chat.
There you go. There you go. Well,
but you know, I've never heard of this before until right now.
I've heard about it. I just didn't take the time to watch it.
But no one has. And I think that a lot of what happens is these movies that do well on the festival circuit go right to streaming, but you know, they're not promoted, and they don't have any theatrical footprint, so people don't know what they are, and then they just disappear. Sure. Unless you scroll and go, that sounds interesting. You know, you don't hear about these movies.
So much being put up. Well, thank you so much. Fair play, number 8. All right. Nice. Where are we out? Where are we out, Arnett? Where are we at?
With
now?
me.
Yeah.
Your number 8.
Yeah, keeping it still with Netflix. My number 8, one of my favorite like genres of film, because I feel like it's its own genre, is assassin movies. One of my favorite films ever is Leon the Professional, and if I see Assassin, I'm gonna watch it.
So good.
So The Killer on Netflix was really interesting to me. I love David Fincher movies, so if you put him there, and I love Michael Fassbender. There were some things that I was like, what? But I appreciated the movie for what it was. Just it was such a different take on an assassin. I think when you see Michael Fassbender and you see The Killer, it's like, oh, I know exactly what I'm getting here. And it was like, oh, this is funny. This is funny. This is a completely different take than what I was expecting. That, along with what I normally would take away from assassin movies, is, you know, the stunt work and the massive explosions, and just, oh, I wonder how they're going to kill their next victim. Even though that's there, the most interesting thing here for me that I love the most was just this inner monologue in the sound design for this movie. It was really interesting. I thought that was really, really unique. We have him having all this deep inner monologue, and he's just constantly talking and being repetitive, coasting himself through certain situations because he's trying to get this job done. I'm really bad at not spoiling stuff. But just that, I felt like it was really, really an interesting take on an assassin, and I enjoyed my time with it. Was it perfect? No, but I think it's something to be had here. I'm not a person who needs a movie to be perfect in every way to enjoy it, and I take certain things and leave certain things on the ground. I took a lot away from this assassin movie that I have never seen in any other ones, and I enjoyed the movie. And the choreography, the fights, we got some really, really intense situations. There's a scene where there's a dog and a man, a dog and a man in the house, and it's really choreographed really, really well, and I enjoyed it. So if you are into assassins anything, check this out.
This is a lot of fun to watch.
Yes.
It's a really entertaining movie.
I loved the Smiths music.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that's all he played in his earbuds, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, is this the set in the 80s? I'm like, is he? I kept like trying to, I was like, no, this is modern day. This is just what he's choosing to listen to and how he's choosing to listen to it. And just the disposal of the bodies, just like the neatness. I liked it. I really did.
Well, what was that thing you had said, RMB? Like, if he had messed up, we wouldn't have a movie. We were talking earlier.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of was giving the impression I didn't like the movie, but I did like the movie a great deal.
Well, Dane Smith is coming in hot. With a terrible American accent. His narration almost put me to sleep.
You know what, Dane? I liked it.
Hot take.
I like the narration a lot. I like narration in movies, okay?
This definitely, I watched it with Romy. It's definitely her genre, and made it for me probably like my lower top 20 quality. You know, again, another. This was a great year for some of our favorite directors to come out with films. And Finchner came out with movies. Not that I was happy with all of them. Michael Mann. You got who else? Ridley Scott and Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, I would say don't forget Martin in that long Killer Flower.
Right. So the Killer Flower.
Long Killer Flower.
Killer Flower.
It was flowers.
Okay.
Something.
That is number 8. That is Struggles number 8. The Killer. Yes. Right. I like it. How we doing in the chat? Let's check in really quickly with the voting. If you're in my chat, you can go vote right now. What do we got, Mr. Fletcher?
We got 54 votes. And the question is, what was 2023? 1, a good movie year. 2, just all right. 3, the worst movie year. And 4, 2 tacos short of a meal, which is now in second place because Just All Right overtook it by 36% at the lead.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Vote
so
now.
Interesting. And again, I want to thank Struggles. Oh, I got confused here. Let me take that off. I want to thank Struggles and all her people. We're doing this combined. This is a lot of fun.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And my good buddy RMB, who we broken bread together, watched movies together. And I love you, buddy. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, Paulie, and I believe you can do it on multiple platforms. So if you wanted R&B to stream to his audience as well or something next time, it can be, you know, more than everybody. I think everybody can. I don't know.
First time doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought you had been all doing this all the time.
Nope. No. Pretty girl Danny. Hi, Tyra. That's right. Struggles' name is Tyra. Paulie and chat. Late, but I'm here. Lost track of time. Making dinner.
Thank you so much for being here, Danny. You always come through and support me. Thank you.
What are you making?
Yeah, I want to know. I'm hungry.
I'm getting. Yeah. This is not good. We're only number 7.
That's where we go.
Mike has bad knees. Member of the channel. Love this panel. Happy New Year's, everyone. Feliz prospero año.
Thank you, Mike. Happy New Year's to you.
Okay. Where are we at, amigo Fletcher?
All right. We got number 7.
Rosa's number 7.
What is
Rosa's number 7? Oh, and it's my number 7. This is a rare.
It's a rare.
This is a rare thing. So we'll
crossover.
just do it as that. Rosa's number 7, and my number 7. Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse.
Oh, this is about to get messy.
Whoa. Bring it on.
It just announced it, and Tyra's already about to throw it.
Wow. Yeah, if Rosa wants to chime in on her.
She just said yay.
Yay. Well, you might not say yay after we're going to hear from Tyra.
Well, no, I just knew. I was wondering what it is in comparison to what my number 7 is and why it's my number 7. It's going to be like, oh, so, okay.
Well, this is the further continuations, adventures of Miles Morales, that he traverses different universes. I
Yes.
particularly loved the addition of Miguel Ojara and Oscar Isaac's voice and tone
Mhm.
and the character to here. The stakes were raised. It's a blitzkrieg of color, sound, of different animation styles.
Mhm.
We even had the head of story, Octavio Rodriguez, come on the channel and give us a great interview. And we'll have that link in the video box description. Yeah, I I saw it 3 times in the theater, and it just really, for me, just great escapism, great stories. And I know Chris Gore had a problem with the ending, saying like, oh, they
Mhm.
ended it in the middle of the scene. It's called a cliffhanger, buddy. And a great cliffhangers will do that.
Mm.
And the cliffhanger for me was that Gwen was getting all the homies. She basically was bringing the band back together with some new band members to go and save Miles Morales. I thought it was a fantastic cliffhanger ending. So I also really appreciated that we got more of Miles's family in regards to his ethnicity,
Mhm.
that we really didn't see in the first one. Lauren Velez, who plays the mom, loved her voice, loved the mother, and a great speech with her and the mom, with him and the mom. Um, yeah. Let me see what else I'm trying to miss here. Great plot twist. That's really, it was in my top 5 the first part of the year. I even let me make myself big. I got a
Whoa.
poster, but I also have let me remove this. I also have an artistic rendering of Miles Morales as an Aztec god that I
Mm.
that I put up
Mhm.
there, by Art Mesa. So yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the movie, and that's what I got. So let her rip. Struggles.
I mean, I like the movie. I like the movie. I like the first one more than the second one.
Mhm.
And personally, I preferred my number 7, the Teenage Mutant Turtles.
Wait, hold on. No.
Whoa.
I did. I
Hold
did.
on.
I
Is that
did.
it? How about you? Is that it? I mean, we're not. You didn't like it that much. Okay.
I did.
R&B.
No, I thought this was a delightful movie. The
Mhm.
style of it, the animation style is just, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. I felt that way about the first film. I mean, I like the character of Miles Morales. I thought it was really interesting. It was a lot of fun to watch. Um, you know, it's hard though. I love animation, but I'm prejudicial against putting it on 10 best lists, I guess.
Mm.
Because it's animation. And that's
Oh,
stupid.
wow.
I shouldn't say that because I know, and I worked for
Terrible.
Disney. I love animation, but I think animation should go on a separate list. Like when Beauty and the Beast was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture, maybe I just need to broaden my horizons, because I tend to think of animation, and I love it. I mean, The Boy and the Heron, the new Miyazaki film, is incredible, and Suzume, which came out this year, was another
That was on your list.
a great movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but I thought this was, I mean, these are great. Not only are they great animated films, they're great superhero movies.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Mm.
I liked Miles a lot more in this one.
Yeah.
We got some hot takes in the chat. We got to get to them. You got your boy Dane C. 7 is low for Across the Spider-Verse.
Mm.
I know, right? What's up with that? Oh, wait a minute, that's me. Jupe 912. At this point, I just let movie buffs help me decide what to watch. As long as it's the right one. Stick with Tyra. My boo worked on this. Top movie of the year. There you go. And Rosa Parra comes in. Yes, the best animated film of 2023. Somehow the visuals surpassed from the first film. And the soundtrack, the score, the story are some of the best. What's his name? Pemberton? David Pemberton.
Mm.
The score, that score is fire. Then there were some fantastic music numbers. One that I really like from Becky G. So yeah,
Cool.
I'm with you on that.
But they still couldn't get a Puerto Rican flag right.
What's that?
They still couldn't get the Puerto Rican flag right.
It's true.
Oh, didn't they made a Cuban by accident?
Yeah. They put a Cuban
Well,
flag.
I don't know if it's accident. Phil Lord, who's the producer of the film, he's Cuban. I think he might have done that on purpose. We need to ask him. He's very much on Twitter, on X. I'm gonna ask him, sir.
That should be an ask, sir.
Sir.
Good
Señor.
sir.
Coño, señor.
Mira.
Mira. Okay, what what you making Rasta pasta. So I'll be in Spider-Man was all right. Come on, girl. Oh, that's not right.
Thank you, Danny.
That's not right. Lily, 300 mirrors. I'm waiting for them to throw in Pedro Pascal in there. You're trying to say they do that with Pedro's in everything right now.
He's in everything.
Yeah. Rundown Productions. Spiderverse top 3.
Hmm.
And Oscar Isaac, of course. Ay, mama.
Nice.
Rob, you heretic.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, man. Okay, we have 2 super chats. Red French Moon, love you, buddy. One great movie fight scene is between Fassbender and Gina Carano in Haywire from Soderbergh. Cool spy movie. Best wishes to you 3 and 4. You know, we'll include Fletcher for 2024.
You like me. You really like me.
My bad. Haywire. Not Hawaii. Yeah, we got it. We know.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Fun movie. R&B Haywire is pretty good.
Hey, I have the Blu-ray. You know, they dubbed Gina Carano's voice in that movie.
Well, she's pretty bad, guy.
Well, she's badass. I mean, that like you said, that fight.
No. She was badass fighting, but when she talked, like, it was really, really
it's rough.
It was rough. She's gotten better though.
Yeah,
she's gotten better. You know. Thank you so much for the super chats. We love super chats, whether it is towards from Struggles Reviews or from Mais Latinos. We love it all. Let's you know, you guys got to meet one of my screaming uncles. I got another one for you guys. Here we go. Be right back. Yeah. You tried to do
love that he took a breath like, see what I did there? See what I just did? See what I did there?
I get the feeling he does this every day. He's like, okay. Okay, where are we now?
All right, so now we have we need number 7 from Mr. Burnett.
Robert. Yes.
Okay, what do we got, Rob?
Well, I'm gonna go with, we were talking about this earlier, Poor Things at number 7.
Yeah.
Yorgos Lanthimos, he made movies like The Favorite and The Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Yes.
His films are always quite incredible. This movie's bananas.
Yeah.
It is bananas in the very best way. Emma Stone, you know, if you just think of her as being from La La Land, well, she basically plays a woman that is grown from the brain of an infant. In a very Frankensteinian story. It starts out with Willem Dafoe, who's got a messed up face. I was going to say something else, but he not only is Dr. Frankenstein, he looks like Frankenstein's monster. And it's basically about how does this woman, what happens to her in the world? And it is both a social satire, it is kind of a tragedy. It's, you know what? Someone said this movie was the better version of Barbie. And And
Yeah.
in a way, I think that's actually true. But if you like social satire, you like horror films, I mean, this is so
Yes.
genre defining, and it looks incredible.
Mhm.
I mean, the level of imagination that is inherent in every frame of this movie, it's an incredible piece of work. And you have to see it to believe it. You know, it's like The Matrix. No one can explain what it is. You have to see it for yourself.
Yes.
And it truly is it's a marvelous movie.
Mhm.
Now I know
And,
this rated much higher for you. You want to hold your opinions on it?
I mean, well, I mean, because it's like I'm piggybacking off of, R&B, and he's just so
You're riffing.
wonderful.
Go for it.
He's so wonderful at what he does. But I'll just say that this is my top 4. This is really a really great movie, and
It really is.
everything that Robert said, ditto. And I'm probably going to get to mine and say the exact same things. But this surprisingly was, I love the Barbie reference because that befits it so perfect. But I'll just say this is a Frankenstein movie on psychedelics and steroids, and I'll just leave it there.
That's a great way to put it. Because
Wow.
what's funny was I'd heard this is also one of these movies where you're not prepared for it. Like when I went in, I thought, oh, okay, I get what I'm going to watch.
Okay.
I wasn't prepared. And it's not just the story, it's also the way it looks. It's everything. And it is just it's really an extraordinary film.
Mhm.
It should be higher on my list. I should go with Struggle and make it higher, but
Okay.
it's amazing.
All right.
What did you
I
think about
respect
it,
that.
Paulie?
I didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
So there's a few that I just couldn't get to, like this, Ferrari,
Mm.
Zone of Interest. It's just
Is it American Fiction? Is that
American Fiction I saw.
I
Mhm.
haven't seen it, and that's the one I think would probably be right up on the top
Yeah,
of my
and
list.
I interviewed John Ortiz, so you can see that interview on the here on
Dude,
the channel.
I didn't know you interviewed him.
Yeah,
he is one of my favorite character actors.
we can connect you and let's have him on your channel.
I once told him on Twitter, I was like, bruh,
Yeah.
you are. I told him I loved him in Miami Vice, in Michael Mann's Miami Vice, and I love him, and he is a chameleon. That guy,
Yeah.
I mean, he can do anything. Love him. I didn't know you interviewed. I got to go watch that right after we're done here.
Yeah,
Is it on your? Is it already up? Did you already put it up?
Oh yeah, no, it's been up.
Oh man,
here, let me just.
I love that guy.
We'll get. I'll save his image, but we'll get. For our audiences who don't know John Ortiz he's been around. You might have seen him from everything from Carlitos Way to Silver Linings.
Because he's like a kid in Carlito's Way. He goes into that and he gets killed.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, American Fiction we're going to talk about. Okay, where are we now, Fletcher?
All right, we're now going number 7.
Number 7. We're going to go. No, number 6.
Me.
Oh, 6.
The number 6. Yeah.
Number 6, right?
6. You're right.
Man, don't be doing that to me.
I love how you guys are trying to politely skip my number 7.
Oh, wait a minute.
See,
Number 7.
I was
so
right.
intentional. This is so intentional.
right.
Well, you know what? Because we were
Struggles,
we were
I
talking
had
about
your
the
back.
same movie. So
Poor,
we didn't get
poor things really threw me off. Please,
Mhm.
number 7 from Struggle.
Keeping it with the theme of animation, I love the Ninja Turtles movie from this year. The
That's
Mutant
right, you did say
Mayhem.
that.
I thought it was so incredible, and I watched it multiple times. I felt like with all the praise that the Spiderverse was getting, this kind of drew comparison, especially with the animation. I personally thought the animation was handled better.
Mhm.
I love Into the Spider-Verse. Sometimes I don't know if it's my glasses or my vision, but the contrast kind of messes with my eyes a little bit there. It just got busy surpassing that first one to where I felt like I couldn't really concentrate the way that I needed to. But Into the Spider-Verse is exceptional. But I have a bias. I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this was my favorite because I felt like they finally got it right.
Mm.
It was refreshing, and we have, actual voice actors that are children, kids, boys, voicing these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it wasn't just so much about the martial arts and getting into the comedic beats and them eating pizza. No, we actually get to see them act like real life teenagers. It was really, really good. Ice Cube voicing Superfly was a really great villain. I loved it. It was my favorite animation of the year.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice.
I fell asleep during the film.
You know what, Paulie?
What? Wait, what? I did. And then I woke up.
You know what?
I listen. I got nothing but much love and respect towards you. I'm just saying, it wasn't all that.
I
I
loved
am
it.
old.
Seen it.
I am old.
I
But
loved it. If you love the Ninja Turtles the way I do, you're gonna love this movie and praise it. And
There
not
you
go
go.
to sleep like Paulie.
Yeah. Don't see like Paulie. There you go. Team Michelangelo. Robert
Please.
Meyer Burnett. What do you think of this team?
I haven't
Teenage
seen it.
Please
Oh,
watch
oop,
it.
burp.
Please.
I haven't seen it. You know.
The best Ninja Turtle movie probably ever.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
People like this movie a lot.
Yes.
Let me get to this really quick. Sean Hu, hope I'm saying it right. If I'm not, apologize. For $7.42.
Wow, that's
Very
particular.
yes. After the stream ends, would you please post each of these lists together somewhere? Yes, we already have mine and Rosa's up, and I will clip Robert's and Struggles, and they each will have their own little videos. How about that?
Ooh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. The Bosco Scenario, my boy, what's going on? Hola to all those in the slant, and hola to everyone at Struggles Reviews. I love that we're doing this, Struggles. Thank you for leading the blind.
I went to I was like, Paulie, I want to share it on my channel too.
Yeah. I know. Okay, where are we, Fletcher?
We had some comments. Rosa chimed in on the Poor Things.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we go. I want to see that. Haven't gotten around to it, but I'm so looking forward to it. Poor Things is visually stunning. Emma Stone gives an awards-worthy performance, but I didn't like it.
Oh.
What? You know what? Rosa, keep that exactly what you just said. Keep that in mind for the next film that we're going to talk about. Pretty girl, you read this one, girl, because I'm reading a lot of yours. Come on.
Hello, Danny. Not a huge fan of Emma Stone, but do enjoy some of her roles, and it was interestingly different than other movies put out recently. Kind of reminded me of Johnny Depp's Scissorhands. Good. It could very well be a Tim Burton situation.
I could totally see that. That makes total sense.
Let's give a little video of thanks to Sean Hugh. You get the little Mexican Iron Man. Here we go. That was quick. That's okay. So now are we up to number six?
Number six.
Number six. Where's my video? There it is. There we go. Oh, so ominous.
I know. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, Rosa Parra's number 6 is The Iron Claw, starring Zac Efron as Kevin Von Erich.
I believe.
Of the Von Erich wrestling family. And this is a biopic. It centers around a family of brothers, wrestling brothers, and their kind of dominating father figure. Incredible cast, and how they really come to rule Texas wrestling out of Dallas, with all the events and all the achievements that they do. That being said, it is a major tragedies of as far as the true to life story, which is in the film, is that most of the brothers do pass away of very unusual, just different circumstances. It's in the film. The writer director even had to curtail the tragedy back by not including the other brother, Chris Von Erich, who also took his life. He's like, I just couldn't do it. It was just too much. and it is
Oh.
a lot. Let me see what Rosa has to say. I wonder if she got to chime in. Lily 300 Mirrors, great movie.
Mm.
You can chime in. This one is probably my number 3.
Mm.
Now, let me just tell you how Rosa feels about Emma Stone and Poor Things. This is how I feel about Zac Efron and Iron Claw. I think Iron Claw was it's a good film. It's a good film. It's definitely a honorable mention for me. It's not in my top 10. I do think it's a little bit of paint by numbers tragedies. That being said, it's still very entertaining. And this performance by Zac Efron, it is a game changer for him. It is a game changer for him. This man, as you can see, went through physically what he had to go through to look like the role. Then I believe he put on a prosthetic jaw to alter his face. This performance was so tragic and sweet and vulnerable and loving, and he's loyal, and he's just all these things, and he just doesn't understand why his brothers are passing away over the years. I mean, I'm just gutted thinking about it. There's a scene where, oh God, there's so many good scenes. There's really so, and it's all him. It's all him. So without him, I just feel that the movie is kind of just, you're kind of good biopic. But that's the Iron Claw, everyone. So I know it's Rosa's number 6. Struggles. We lost Robert. Hopefully
Yes, we
get him back.
did. I have
So-
never seen this, but it would be interesting to see Zac Efron because I'm a Disney Channel kid, so I have a hard time detaching him from those. And this feels like maybe this is the role to do that. I have seen him in some things, but to me, he's always going to be in High School Musical. So maybe this will be that role to really just pull me out of that. It looks interesting. I got some wrestlers on my radar now. So we have the Iron Claw, and then we have, what is it, Cassandro?
Cassandro.
Okay, I will be checking these out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Here we go with Rosa's statement. Zac Efron gives my favorite performance of the year. I agree. I definitely, it's up there with Jeffrey Wright. Depicting a wrestler isn't easy, and yet he does it so effortlessly. Yes. Physical. I mean, you bought everything, and I didn't watch any of those musicals, so maybe that helps me. Because I didn't watch any of it. I'm just now watching Neighbors. He was the comedy. I'm just now watching. Like now, I'm going to start watching his stuff. I love wrestling, hence why there are 2 films on my list. Yeah, Rosa's a huge wrestling fan. But I think there's now a swell for him to get a nomination up there for Best Actor. I do believe Coleman Domingo is in 2 subpar films where he gives incredible nuanced performances. I loved his Rustin. I just didn't like the film. But he should be in there. He should be in there, as well as Zac Efron. All right. Well, looks like Robert's internet went out.
Oh man.
So I said if he can maybe get on the phone, camera off, maybe he's gonna reboot. But let's carry on. Okay, so that's Rosa's number 6. Where are we?
Yes.
Are we with my number 6?
Yes, we are.
Yep.
Okay, let me see. What was my number 6? Now I gotta. Whoop! I just hit the wrong thing.
Your number.
Oh, I got it.
You got it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, is it on here? Did I write it in? I probably didn't write it in. Okay, let me type it in.
There you go.
Well, this one's a very unusual film for me to pick because I'm not an anime guy, not well versed at all. It's just not my thing, as a lot of other people are. But who said that?
No, I said me neither. I'm not. But I think I know what your pick is because it's been talked about so much. I'm like, well, maybe I should watch it because I'm not into anime at all.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's called The Boy and the Heron.
Hmm.
And I recently saw it and was v- very impressed. Of course, with the animation, the world. This is set during World War II Japan.
Hmm.
Uh, but I'm gonna keep it real short. What affected me the most was what happens when we lose a loved one when we're still very young, like let's say a mother or a grandmother, someone very close. What that does with us as we're growing up, and then as we're growing up, we start forgetting those memories of that loved one.
Mm.
And so when our lead character is traversing in different realities, that comes into play, and it was very emotional for me. It was very well done. I was so taken away that this made my list. Besides the visuals were just incredible. I think the reason why it jumped from Spider-Verse because of that family loss was so heavy in this film, but it was so beautiful too. It was really
Mm.
beautifully done, and it was kind of like a mixture of Alice in Wonderland and kind of like this journey, and then those things that I was telling you about. So very impressed. The Boy and the Heron is mine.
Mm.
Anime can take you by surprise. Yeah.
Mm.
Same filmmaker. I love Spirited Away, and that's going to be on my list. That I believe that's like what, from the 90s.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So
Same Studio Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli, the same Japanese studio.
Yeah.
There you
Mhm.
go. So yeah, that is my number 6. Is that where we're at?
Number
Yeah.
6.
Okay, cool. So let's continue this. Where we have your number 6, Struggles.
Yeah, my number 6 is Leave the World Behind. I know you
No.
did not like Leave the World Behind, Paulie. No, we did not say leave Paulie behind. I said Leave the World Behind. I love
Mm,
it. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It's on Netflix. I think it really got
mm,
up there because they were like, "Oh, the Obamas, produced and put out a film, and we got into the book it was based on." I love a movie where I have no clue what's going to happen. If you can carry me on anticipation, I'm halfway there. Like, first of all, it had a great cast. I love Mahershala Ali. We have Ethan Hawke. We have Julia Roberts. We have some newcomers, some child acting. Like, I now the ending. I was not satisfied with the ending. I did want more, but everybody always has a scenario of, hey, this is what I would do if the world was ending, and you kind of get to see that in this in this setting. I love when we can work a movie just in one setting. We rarely leave this home. And we really get into it's like a character study. You never really know anybody's intentions. It's a while before you really realize what's going on. It's shrouded in mystery for the beginning, and I like that. And I also like when we get beyond that and we're just kind of settling into, okay, this is happening, this is where we are now, this is our reality, this is what we need to do. But we also have things like a lot of stuff is just unexplained. A lot of stuff is just unexplained, and you're left to kind of use your imagination as to, like, I wonder, so his teeth just came out, huh? Okay, well, like, I just,
mm,
I'm wondering what's going on with that, or even
mhm,
just something that can carry us through the whole film, like the youngest daughter being obsessed with watching the final episode of Friends. It's a very strategic
mhm,
type of movie, but I like the characters and just getting down to the bottom line of a lot of people not knowing what to do when something like this occurs. So I'm
mhm.
here for that. I'm here for that. I want to know what you really didn't, what like told you, Paulie, like I don't like this film. Like, why didn't you like the film besides the ending?
Oh God, I don't want to rain on your parade.
No, go ahead, Paulie.
Rain away.
Let's just go. Let's just go. Let's go to the chat. I hear mixed reviews about this, and I'm still on the fence.
Hmm.
King Nikki, I
Uh,
thought the ending, Leave the World Behind, was brilliant. It
mm.
left the audience obsessed with fictional characters, just like
Characters,
Rose.
Yeah.
The vagueness of Leave the World Behind worked for me because we are as clueless as the characters on what's happening.
Yes.
I think the main thing for me is I could buy into all that, as pretentious as that is, if I cared about any of these people. Any of these people, I did not care. They're all assholes. They're all idiots.
I like that.
No. Some of them, yes. Julia Roberts, yes.
That was
But I
Julia
don't think
Roberts was the likable one for you?
No, she was the worst.
Oh,
What
okay.
I'm
I was going
saying
to
is
say she
that
was terrible.
you can't just have all of them at different levels be assholes, right? It's just, besides this pretentious setup. But that's just me. I like Mahershala. I love what he was trying to do, but it wasn't enough. I mean, honestly, the best thing I liked about it was Kevin Bacon's
Kevin Bacon.
cameo.
Everybody loves Kevin Bacon. I was like anticipating him being there more. I hated that they didn't utilize him. I'm like, you have Kevin Bacon, you need to use him. But I
got it. This is actually I believe on my. It's not even like on my
at all.
Is it on my disappointment? No, it was. I did a video about the Obamas, about Barry putting his own movies on his top 10 movies of the year. That is such pretentious garbage that I was like, well, this makes sense. You put your own films on there. This one and what was the other one? Was it Rustin?
What Rustin was on there?
He put on his top 10, he put this one and Rustin on his top 10 movies of the year. I'm like, come on, bro.
I wouldn't put Rustin anywhere.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on. But you just don't do that's just not how it's done. You give your top 10 to other people, but that's a whole different listen. I didn't like the film.
I love how unlikable everybody was, especially Julia Roberts. I really didn't like her character. Like, if you were looking for anybody to guess, I think Mahershala Ali was supposed to be the likable one because no matter what, he was trying to go out of his way to take care of strangers and keep them in, this little safe haven. But yeah, I didn't mind that nobody was likable. Like, I didn't care about anybody here, and I didn't care that I didn't care.
All right. Well, listen. This is where we're at. I mean, this is where we're at with this film. Let's say, where do we want to begin? I knew this film was going to make it on someone's list, so there you go. Okay, you read this one.
Real time, if I was sitting in a theater watching Leave the World Behind, I'd highly be disappointed. It was okay, but there were so many girling mistakes and goose, and the ending was dumb. Yeah, this isn't something that I would. First of all, I don't like spending money at the movies anyway, but this is something that you definitely catch at home. But I like it for what it was. Like, I just love when I don't know what the hell is going on.
Awesome one. I thought this was a war film, not a mind bender. Okay. This is you?
I agree. You don't care about any of the characters, and that hurts it. Okay.
Rosa, I appreciate its depiction of how any external threat isn't as important as when a civil war between us imminently our undoing.
Yeah.
And Robert's back.
Dude.
Just in time.
I gotta say, my internet just went out. I walk outside, these dudes are working on I'm like, guys, you just unplugged my internet. And they're like, oh, we're sorry.
Oh.
So
like, right. You could have been like on right.
So I apologize. I didn't want to get it was they didn't realize they didn't know I was streaming. I'm like, yeah, we didn't even have a service call. Didn't know what was going on. These poor guys. I gave them maybe I was not as nice as I should have been. No, I was.
You know what? Sometimes it's it's warranted. 300 Mirrors. It's on my worst films of the year. LOL. Fingernails on a chalkboard.
Oh,
I love the director to this movie.
He did, Sam. Ismail, I'm sorry. Did I miss this conversation? I wanted to talk about this movie.
No, jump in.
This is my number 6, and we have love-hate relationship for the movie. I liked it, but Paulie, of course, did not.
Well, again, this was another literary adaptation, and I thought it was chilling because one of the things I like this movie I thought the performances were great. You know, Julia Roberts is kind of the ultimate Karen of this
Yes.
movie in a way. And it had some really chilling moments, like when the boat runs aground. But
Mhm.
here's a funny thing. When Calamity, I mean, we don't know what's going on in this movie. You know, they insinuate it, and at the end, Mahershala Ali talks about this scenario
Yeah.
of what could be happening, which is incredibly plausible. I mean, if you know, people just they cut you off so you don't know anything, and then they let everybody go crazy on their own.
Yes.
And I thought that was I thought that was really great. I mean, I really, maybe it's because I'm potent. Yeah, I find this kind of thing scary and ominous, and you know, I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for Alex Garland's new movie Civil War.
No, I haven't.
But it looks like this is a prequel to that movie.
Oh.
You know, and it had some great stuff, like the Teslas all crashing because someone had hacked the Teslas and to cut off people getting in or out of the city. And
yeah, I love how plausible everything seemed. It seemed like this could happen any day. Like, give me, you know, and I love, you know, horror movies just as much as the next person, but certain scenarios, you know, that could never be plausible. This is very much so plausible. And I love it's just this was a character study for me. Like you said, this is the ultimate Karen. I love how unconcerned and just lax the character of Ethan Hawke was, and you have Mahershala trying to be the savior, and you know he's sitting on some information, but what isn't he saying? Like, I love the mystery. And did I want more from the ending like everybody? Sure, but I love this movie. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The big change they made from the book is in the book, Mahershala Ali, it wasn't his daughter, it was his wife. And I kind of liked, you know, I liked how his daughter was kind of this firebrand leftist college student, you know, and it was I thought it was great. You know, a lot of people complained. There was some complaints about some of the things that character, it's the way she said things. But I thought, you know, they did things like they played off racial tension.
Yeah.
You know, when they show up first at the door, they don't have to say it, but it's clearly like Julia Roberts says, "Don't let in those people, honey.
This can't be his house. They're black."
Yeah, and while the daughter character actually starts espousing those ideals directly,
Yeah.
I liked how he used that tension in the beginning, you know, and it was I thought it was really effective.
Yeah.
You know, and then they like the idea of the energy weapon. You know, they talk about Cuban, that syndrome, because people they get this, they don't know what's wrong. That's actually all based in fact.
Yeah.
And it's I thought it was really plausible and scary.
Yes.
Well, we got a lot of comments here. Let's get to it. Price of Reason. What's up, Price? I watched the first 15 minutes of Leave the World Behind and fell asleep.
Oh.
Dark Plato, who's a fine member of the channel and of the Network, sounds like it's creeping more and more into the consciousness that there's going to be some sort of civil war. Oh, good God. People, falling into those fears. I mean, that's, and the fact that it's produced by an ex-president, that's kind of scary.
Well, people are just mean.
Or what?
You know, people are mean.
Yeah.
We have gotten to the point where everyone goes from 0 to 60 to be mean to each other. You know, there's no respect just for people. You know, we used to all come from a place that human beings deserve to be respected or whatever, but now the hatred that is fomented between people is so extreme. Let's just kill them. You know, and that's what I think is really terrifying. Is that we've lost the ability to be civil to one another.
Yeah, Paulie, it was layered. You get the hatred, that real strong hatred from Julia. You get kind of the savior complex with Mahershala, and then you get the self-preservation with Kevin Bacon. Even though it was brief, we got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Paulie.
And let's get you to read this one, please.
Having the son's teeth fall out because of radiation was okay, but for them to go out and look for medicine to cure him was sloppy writing. What medicine was going to fix that?
Well, I think they meant like a general antibiotic.
Yeah. And then it's just, when something happens to any, like your children, especially in a scenario like this, and you really have nowhere to go, you're going to be grasping at anything. Like, I don't know what's going on, but maybe if we get our hand on, some antibiotics or something, we have to do something. No matter if what we're doing is nothing, we have to do something.
And I like that action. There was, that where it's like, I didn't mind.
Tylenol would fix the kid's teeth.
Boom.
It's panic mode. You parent.
Leaving the World Behind was a fire movie.
Behind was a fire movie. Thank you, Dane C.
But Dane C, you forgot to put was a fire movie in a dumpster. Shoot, not 191. Like that one, 912. This movie is so polarizing. I'm going to watch now just to see what side I stand on. Hey, it's all good. This is what I love. I love that we can all have a great conversation with this. The Tesla crash scene was intense. Come on now, LOL. Yeah, it was all right. It's kind of.
I don't care for anything here.
It was all right. Haven't seen this one yet. Sin, you got to go see it.
Please. Hey, Sin.
Okay, here you go.
It wasn't terrible. It got me thinking about what I'd do if the world came to a halt. Exactly. What's going to happen when that technology and all those things fall? Can you even function as a person? Apocalyptic style, which could very well happen any day now. I definitely wouldn't survive.
Maybe it's me, right? That's another reason why I didn't like this film, right? You're going to tell me that these do-gooder lefty liberals coming out of Brooklyn, wherever they're from, they're not into anything in their lives, right? Anything that's organic, that where they know how to garden. All these guys I know, all these goofballs, they're into, the gardening and, getting back with, getting back, grow some chickens. Let's do that.
Can you think these people were survivalists?
No, I'm not even talking survivalist. I'm just talking about like getting back to some like what's the word I'm looking for here, Robert?
Having the skills to just live, survival skills. Like are you saying
no, like going back to what do you call it when you're going back
to nature?
Back to nature, but there's not Western medicine. Just getting back to. I feel a lot of the like liberal left has done that already with a lot of goofball stuff that they're doing. Some of it's good, but these guys don't know shit. They don't know how to do nothing. those parents were just so annoying, man.
Yes, they were.
Well, yeah, it was. I would say that I could definitely see that. I mean, pragmatic survival skills, or they didn't. But I guess my biggest fear in life is to lose civilization. When people just decide they're not going to stop at red lights anymore, or they're going to come to your house because they want to take it. And if you're in there, they'll just walk in and kill you. And this thin veneer of civilization that we all believe in, we're seeing it. I mean, look at in the state of California, you can now just go into stores and steal whatever you want. And shoplifting isn't a crime up past, I mean, if you can steal up to like $900
$700.
Yeah. So when did this become something that was okay? Like, and once you've allowed that slippery slope to be climbed or slid down, whatever, where does it end? And I think that this and couple that with people being mad at each other, and you get mad enough, road rage, bodily harm, and you combine those two things, and suddenly you do find your civilization being torn apart.
Yeah.
And I think this movie, and the thing is, it's not going to happen in a conflagration of nuclear weapons or something. It's going to be like this movie said, all you have to do is push people a little bit and let them do the work for you.
Yeah.
I just think maybe it's because, I'm pretty handy. I work with
me too.
All my relatives that are contractors. Like there's a lot of stuff I know how to do and whatever. It's like these guys don't know anything.
Well, I mean, you'd be surprised, dude. How many people? I know so many people that don't know how to change a tire.
What?
I mean, and I can't. I told somebody once that I changed a tire on the 405 freeway, and they looked at me like I was out of my mind. And I'm like, how do you, if you learn to drive, how do you not know how to change oil and change a tire? Like, how can you put yourself in that position?
Or just know like the basic parts to your car. A Dane C. Wait, what? You can shoplift in California? Where's my plane ticket?
Yeah, it's not good.
Agreed, Paulie. This is the age of air fryers and TikTok. Basic
No,
life
we
skills are
need
slowly being
Robert's
abandoned.
number 6.
Oh yeah, let's. You know what? You're right. Let's do this. Let's do that. I got a big super chat, and then we're gonna get to you
Oh
R&B.
yeah, you did.
Tomas, the Gilk Man, is here for $19.99. Very, very, very nice. Thank you so much. Hail! Much love to you all. Big fan of Latino Slant and of Robert Meyer Burnett. Would love to meet you both at some point in the next year or so, and to meet Struggles. We got to meet Struggles. The Holdovers is in my top 10 of the year. Keep being amazing and Happy New Year.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Guess what my next one is?
Oh,
The Holdovers.
love that film.
I know. Spoiler alert.
Okay, let's get something good for yeah, this is good. This is so we're in themes with the gritos, with the screams. Here's me doing them. Arr. Mm.
Noise.
Arr. Mm.
Hey, do a mariachi one.
Oh my god.
All right, thank you so much, the Gilk Man. Love you too, buddy. It will be nice to meet you one day as well. I love meeting the community at the meetups that happen, the LA Comic-Con that we did, R&B. I was wondering where R&B was. We had all these. I'll talk to you later, man. I'll put you on. Darth Plato, Paulie off his meds again. Okay.
So did we get number 7 for Mr. Burnett?
No, here we
6.
go. What's your number 7, sir?
It is, in fact, the Holdovers.
Yes.
Struggle is right.
Mhm.
She picked up on what I was laying down right there.
Tell us
And,
about the Holdovers.
The Holdovers is Alexander Payne's new film, and it's set in the early 70s, and Paul Giamatti plays this kind of schlep rock professor, and they're kind of stuck over, what is it, Christmas,
Christmas. Mhm.
and Christmas break, and it's kind of about what happens between them, and it is just a wonderful character study, and it feels, I mean, they went to great lengths to make it appear like it came from a different era. Like the movie looks like it was shot in the 70s, which I understand now you can make that happen, but it is just it's really great because Paul Giamatti is like this just curmudgeonly dude, and it's really good, and it's like no movies you see anymore, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. And again, it deals with how do people treat one another, and I really, really, really liked it a lot. It's a lot of fun, and Paul Giamatti, Alexander Payne made Sideways with Paul Giamatti and Thomas Hayden Church, and it's great to see them working together again. I loved Sideways, but this is that kind of a movie, and it's just great. I loved it.
Oh,
Loved it.
man.
Did you see it?
No, I'm regretting. I went to see Thanksgiving.
Oh God,
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
that was good, bad.
I just thought it looked like your typical cash grab seasonal. Oh, it's a Christmas, family movie, and I went to see
No, it's
Thanksgiving.
not like that. It's
Man.
not like
Yeah.
that.
No, it's vaulted for sure. What number? This is your number 6.
Yes.
That was 6.
Number 6.
Okay.
Well, this is my number 5, so we'll just jump right there. Is that cool, Fletcher? Keep track.
Yeah, it's cool.
please?
Yeah, we got everybody.
I actually got to see this in the theater when it came out a few months ago. It's still in the theater. I saw it early, and then I saw it again last night.
This movie or another movie?
This movie.
Oh,
No.
and what did you think of it?
Oh, it's my number 5. No, I'm in love with it. Even more so. I don't, to me, this is Giamatti's best performance film wise.
He's so good. I mean, you know what? He's like a chameleon.
Yeah.
I was watching Sabrina the other night. The Harrison Ford, Julia Ormond film from 25 years ago.
He's in that?
And a young Paul Giamatti is in that movie. And I totally forget.
He's never looked young. That's what I mean. He's obviously he's younger, right? But to me, he's always had that look, like that Danny DeVito, you know.
But he used to have hair. Like
he had more hair. Okay,
he was in the movie Cameron Crowe's movie Singles from 1990.
Mhm.
So
well, he was in what was the movie? The other Cameron Crowe one. Almost Famous.
Oh yeah.
It was great. And then he played Pig Vomit in the Private Parts.
Right. That's right.
But and then listen, we all got our favorite Giamattis, performances. John Adams, and then Cinderella Man. I loved him in Cinderella Man. So
he's also great in Shoot 'Em Up.
So who I forgot. I need to look up this actress, which they're really pushing for her to get nominated. All these three actors make it work.
Yeah,
because even though this kid's like really tall, this kid is playing not 18 yet, and he's got a really tough tragedy that he's dealing with his father.
Right.
And so what I loved also about this movie is an imperfect man in Giamatti trying to bestow some sort of principles and some confidence in this young man who's like just shattered.
Yeah.
Right. And, that's what I loved. So what does he do? He takes him to Boston and they go see art. They go here, they go there, and they have a great time. And then there's some hijinks that happens.
And
but it's not
the actress's name is Divine Joy Randolph.
Yeah. She is. She's wonderful.
She is great.
She's wonderful, and it is a fantastic role. I don't know if have you seen her in anything else before, guys?
I haven't. I'm trying to remind myself.
What's the show that came out this year? The Weekend show.
The Weekend.
Gosh.
She's been in Only Murders in the Building.
No way.
Yeah, she was a detective.
Yeah, Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, she's funny in that.
Yes.
So that makes sense because why her comedy was so good in this. See, this is a different type of comedy. It's because the reality of this movie is that everyone has a real rooted tragedy that we're dealing with, sort of like American Fiction. Where Only Murders is a little more kind of like
the Idol is not at all. That's what it's called, The Idol, the show with The Weeknd that was really polarizing this year that everyone was talking about. She that's the first time I've ever seen her, and it was in that show, so I'll be really interested to see what she does here with this role.
She's wonderful.
Yeah. And there's so many great scenes in this R&B. Even the language, the dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
I was just so impressed, and it's very endearing. And then when I saw it again, I was like, oh my God, this really is also too a Christmas movie.
Totally a Christmas movie.
Of three strangers coming together, major tragedy with each character.
Yep. With
each character, and they create this kind of like this little family and what they go through during the holidays. It is my we'll play it right now. It's my number 5. There you go. It's my number 5. Okay, Paul Giamatti in it. I can give it my time. I think he's like get top vote getter, right? To get nominated and stuff.
Yeah, definitely one of them.
Been meaning to watch this. Nah, Paul Giamatti's best role is Big Fat Liar. There you go. Great choice there. Great choice. Yeah, that's my number 5. Seen it twice. Good stuff there, Robert.
It's a good one.
Yeah. All right, where are we now?
We're number 5. So you're giving your number 5. We got to give Rosa's number 5.
Oh, let's get Rosa's number 5. Okay, let me see. What's her number 5? Okay. Let's go right now to it. Rosa's number 5 is a movie called Radical. Let me take this.
Dude.
Did you see it?
No.
Oh,
No.
dude, radical,
Oh,
dude.
Radical, dude. Totally
God,
awesome.
it's so
man.
radical, bro.
I'm so
No.
stoked
So-
to see it,
Just like
man.
radical,
Totally.
man.
Dude,
It's probably about
Paulie.
something totally different. It's radical.
You know, I'm like, you know, I'm trying to work all the elements here of the show.
Maybe it's about feminism.
You know,
I hope it's, just dude, I hope it's just giving Bill's and Ted's Excellent Adventure on the cover.
Totally.
well, radical is Rosa's number 5. It is in my honorable mention.
Mhm.
This is a independent produced film co-production from here in the States, and was it Pantaleon out of Mexico.
Mexico.
Oh, I'm reading about it now. It sounds great.
It stars one of Mexico's most popular, Latin America's most popular actors. His name is Eugenio Derbez. Think of Jim Carrey, but on a global, level. Like he's that beloved, very talented man. With Eugenio Derbez.
Now this is based on a Wired magazine article from 2013 called
Correct.
A Radical Way of Unleashing a Generation of Geniuses.
Yeah, it's a true story, and basically, he's a teacher in the border of Mexico. He's like, we have to find a new way to teach kids. And
Yeah.
He basically is inspired by these European teachers who present this non-evasive way to get kids to learn, to get kids interested in subject matter, and it's absolutely amazing.
This sounds great.
Because at one point in the natural progression of these kids learning, they discover critical thinking,
Oh.
which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And they even bring up the idea of abortion. The kids do, and these kids, they're not kids, but they're like early teens, whatever. And you think it's going to go one direction, which would be a very kind of like lefty Hollywood direction in regards to that subject matter.
Yes.
Right.
But it doesn't. It's about the critical thought that these kids have different opinions about that subject matter. And that's just one moment. Now, Robert said something about it being a true story. The Wired story had on the cover the teacher, and one of his proteges was I forgot her name. We can get her name, but they called her the next Steve Jobs, and it shows her story in the movie as well. The 3 kids that they show really make it special, this movie. And this one child that becomes on the cover of Wired, she's an actual bona fide genius. She learned how her and her father live in this junkyard, literally live in a junkyard, and she just learned how to gather all these parts and make a telescope. And there's a scene where she's literally on top of a heap at night, looking up above just to escape, and she's looking at the stars through her telescope. Great movie. It is in my honorable mention. It is in my honorable mention.
I would love to see it. We only get so many teacher movies. The little teacher genre type movies, they always kind of have the same beat, the little Hollywood beat. I'm going to save these, delinquent children type of thing. So this sounds, completely against the grain as far as that's concerned. And the fact that it's based on a true story, that's intriguing to me. I'll definitely check it out. But not the dude. It's not the dude you guys thought it was. But
No,
it's not. It's a radical way of
Teaching.
of teaching. Because
but I'm a sucker for any. I love movies about teachers teaching students. I'll watch that genre, whether it's Dangerous Minds or Stand and Deliver, or I'll watch it.
Yeah, and it was made for peanuts. Eugenio and crew had to like really scrape this money together to get it made. Rosa Parra says, Radical is my favorite film from Sundance, and I still think about it. It's funny, heartbreaking, and optimistic. Derbez is brilliant. Such a gem. Mexico missed out on not submitting this film. That's Mexico being Mexico. Bunch of bozos as a representative to the Academy, right? Yeah. Jupe And oh, you got rid of one thing I wanted to. Yeah, there's a couple people in your chat, in the struggles chat, that are
Mhm.
interested. Yes, I highly recommend it. It is in Spanish, good subtitles, great feel good. The little bit of tragedy, the three kids make it even more so. It's a very special film. All right, thank you. Okay, where are we?
All right. I think we have your number 5.
I
We
did my
have
number 5.
Rosa's number 5. So now we need Robert and Struggles.
No. Oh yes. Okay, Robert.
Well, my number 5 we've already talked about is Anatomy of a Fall.
Oh, that's your
And,
5?
That's my 5. And again, because first of all, I'm a sucker. True crime. This is not true crime, but because I love The Staircase, both the movie and the documentary.
Yeah.
This I was really interested in this story, but it's brilliantly done, and I think that the way it juggled everything, like you were bringing it up, how they would come in and out, like the recordings of the arguments they had, and it's just a brilliantly conceived and executed movie. And it isn't just a whodunit. It really is an examination of a relationship and from interesting ways. And it just had a lot going on. It had a lot to say, and I thought the filmmaking was great. And I just loved it. I love this movie. And I just love these kinds of stories. And it's any way you can delve into it. Kind of the reason I liked Fair Play as well. You watch this relationship. These characters in Fair Play started out really loving one another, and then it just went to hell in a handbasket so quickly. And I'm there for that kind of thing. What that says about me, I don't know. but it's also a tense thriller at the same time. And
it really is.
Right?
It really is. It's so grating, that music that's played. It's a instrumental version of an old 50 Cent song.
Yeah. Yes.
Dun 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 dun. I mean, it kept playing at the beginning of this movie, and you're like, "What's going on?" And then you see the husband dead on the snow. We're like, "Oh boy, here we go."
Well, and what's interesting too is both Fair Play, that was on my list, and now I'm just thinking about this now. The idea of sexual power dynamics between men and women, and as women, men are having to deal with changes in the way that masculinity. How are we going? Can we accept a world where we're equal with women in the workplace, and what is that going to do to who and how we perceive ourselves? And I think that there is these are interesting questions. And like I said, Fair Play, Alden Ehrenreich turns into such a little bitch in that movie because he can't handle the fact that the woman he loves got a promotion over him, and then he discovers that he's not as good at his job as he thinks he is, and that he's not well perceived at work. And I like watching that because basically some people get mad. Dudes get mad at stories like that. I'm like, no. The point is not to get mad. The point is to do better, and that's, I kind of like that. And there's an element of that in this movie too.
So let me say to the audience, the film is mainly in English and French.
Yeah.
And in the courtroom, the French court, they don't want her to speak English. They want her to speak French. That's not her first language. The character, fascinating. It's just, of course, and because she's such a strong character. She's like an award-winning famous novelist, and her husband is not so much. A wannabe writer. But so you saw their, like Robert was saying, their dynamic, their relationship, and then they have this beautiful son, who was equally great, Milo Machado Grenier, I believe, this kid actor. Wow, what an ending. And again, the director, she didn't want, at some point, Sandra asked her, like, I think right before they're about to film, is this woman guilty? Right? Because she had read the script. Like, she's like, play it as if she's innocent.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that mixture of like it's half an ID thriller doc and then half of a this tense courtroom drama, just like Staircase. I even hated the man even more.
Oh, you hate
He's
that guy.
despicable.
Yeah.
And he was played by Colin Firth, right?
Yeah. Yep.
God, it was great choice there. Yeah, highly recommended, guys. Okay, where are we, Fletcher?
All right, so now we need Struggle.
Struggle
Number 5.
My number 5 is May December. May December with
So
Natalie
good.
Portman and Julianne Moore. That's my number 5. It's available on Netflix. I was interested because I remember very vividly the Mary Kay Letourneau situation. And I was like, oh, why would they even bring this back into the forefront and kind of wrap the movie around this type of, scenario in just a modern day situation. It was so good. It was so good. And I showed up mostly for Natalie Portman because I love anything she's in. And I stayed for Charles Milton. He was really great. He was really great. I see him as like this jockey, heartthrob, like CW type of actor. I had absolutely no expectations for him other than eye candy, but he was really great here and has so many layers of this. For anybody who hasn't seen it or knows anything about the Mary Kay Letourneau situation, it is about a much older woman taking advantage of a teenage boy who is working with her. It's not they changed the jobs and everything here. I think they're working in a pet shop or something like that.
Yeah.
And she hires him and takes advantage of this 13-year-old boy. But unlike, other scenarios where we would be cut and dry there and she may get arrested and go like, no, we're in the Mary Kay Letourneau world where you're able to get out and live your best life and raise your children with this same poor child that you took advantage of. And we see the inner workings of their relationship now, which was so different to get that kind of perspective and see this grown man in this like arrested state of development and just her be the ultimate predator and the manipulator and the fact that she's a hunter. Like it was so layered. And then you have a movie about to be created about their dynamic, and Natalie Portman is supposed to portray that character. So she's supposed to be there to study her, to enhance, the role. But you find out, like, I thought for all of 2 seconds, like, oh, Natalie is going to come here and be the savior. I was like, oh my gosh, she's a terrible person.
Yes.
She's just as much as she's a terrible person and a manipulator and kind of predatory in her ways of the way that she wants to get information to be the best at, like, how far are you willing to go to perform well with this role. It was just really, it was so good. I was very, very surprised. And I just thought that this was going to be some little cut and dry May December situation. But Charles Milton and the way he talked with this role and the way that he interacted with their children, it's just really, really good and really compelling to see them take something like that particular subject matter. And we not only see how it affects them then, but now, as well as all of the other family members around her, and how being a white privileged woman, how far it will take you because everybody's just kind of coasting and have adopted to her lifestyle and her behavior, and she's not a pariah. That was crazy to me to see that dynamic of her being a predator and being as she's such a broken person. She's a broken person, and you see how that has affected her partner, who she has had under her thumb since forever, in the way that she justifies their relationship. It's just it's way more layers than I thought it would be. And if you are interested in that, I would definitely check it out. But if you're here thinking that this is going to be the Natalie Portman show, it was. But personally, I really think that Charles Milton should be nominated for something because he was really great here.
And Todd Haynes, who directed this, is a terrific movie. And Todd Haynes, who directed this, goes all the way back to movies like with Julianne Moore. She's like his muse too, and they've worked together a lot. And all the way back into back I can't even speak, to 1995, they made a movie together called Safe.
Yeah.
And she plays a woman who's like allergic to the modern age. Like she can't go outside, and it's like a psychological horror film. But this film it's really, really good. The performances are great all around. I totally agree with you. This movie's I should have put this on my list, but it's great.
Didn't see it, but maybe we'll see it now after hearing it from you guys.
Yeah, please watch it, Paulie. It's a
yeah.
great it's a character study as well, and you just get to see these horrible people. These are I don't know how, because you didn't like Leave the World Behind, but them being terrible is really
Yeah.
justified here, and who you think these people are. Everybody's just masking who they truly are to take advantage of whatever their agenda may be. For Julianne Moore, it's for her to maintain this status or whatever in this town and keep her children, as well as might as well be her other son, her husband, under her thumb. And Natalie Portman, she just has a strong agenda as soon as she arrives to do the best she feels like she needs to do this character study to enhance this role, but she goes way further than she would ever need to.
Yeah, way further.
Okay, we're getting to our top fours, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
All right. So, panelists, do me a favor. In the private chat, you guys hit me up with your honorable mentions and your disappointments as well. Okay, so hope everyone is having a great time on all our channels. Struggles, Robert Meyer Burnett here on the Latino Slant. This is a great time we're having here on the channel. Thank you all so much. Now let's go. Where are we now? Number 4?
Number 4.
Right. So Rosa Parra's number 4 is John Wick Chapter 4, which I really would love, really want to know what made, and I liked it. I liked it. It was just a lot.
Video game.
To me, Equalizer 3 is a far superior action film. But I'm just wondering why Rosa put this up so high. As number 4, John Wick Chapter 4. Any of you guys want to chime on this film real quick?
It's a video game.
Okay. All right.
I was not interested. I love the first 2. The third one is, cool also. First 2 really great. First one, exceptional. This here, I was like, okay, we're starting to lose our way, and I'm hoping that we don't get a 5.
I kind of have to agree with my esteemed colleague. I was but the last half of part 3 was beginning to lose me.
Yeah.
That long protracted fight. I mean, one of the interesting things about this series, I think the first movie, him being the Baba Yaga, this incredible assassin, but it gets to the point where how many assassins are there in the world? I mean, it's like if there was like 8 assassins or 10 assassins, but it's like everybody's an assassin, and I like the world building and all of it.
Yeah.
But it just gets to the point where how many dudes can he shoot in the head? A lot of dudes. The answer is a lot.
Of dudes.
A lot of dudes.
A lot.
And I do think while they're a lot of fun, I think this series has kind of run out of gas because it hasn't changed what it is. And I guess that's what John Wick. It's not like John Wick can go on he's just being chased, and it's the first movie was really interesting because he was a man. I liked the element. He was in love with his wife, and his wife, he was trying to change his ways, and he had left being an assassin, and then this random stop with these assholes, led to the carnage that ensued. And there was something about that I found really appealing. I mean, the first John Wick is one of the great, call it a B movie. Yeah. But I think B movies ever, and I think the studio was really surprised with its success. But that movie is so much fun, and the world building, what they hint at, is really interesting. But then it just kind of, it doesn't have many places to go.
Just keep expanding it though. Like, we're gonna add more people.
Well, Ballerina is going to come out this in 24. So yeah, I like what Tom Connors of Midnight Jed said. That these became kind of everything what you said, these 2, 3s, and 4s, that the first one was a Die Hard, was a true original action movie. Yeah. And then it just, kind of just, But I was like, oh yeah, it's a real, because John Wick, that first one was very unique, man. It had a lot to it. People are saying, nah, people still love John Wick. Okay.
Yep.
I think everyone loves John Wick, but
Everyone loves Keanu. Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's funny because I had the what I would say the Robert Meyer Burnett take. I was getting all philosophical with it because I was like, I think John Wick was dead in the last one, and this was his coming back from purgatory. And each scene, because you change the colors and the music and all that stuff, to me was each ring of hell that he had to get out to save his friend, so he can now do a good deed, so he can now attain mercy and stuff. So I was like,
I like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I want to see that movie.
Hot take. Hot
Hot
take.
take.
Get it.
Thank you, Fletcher.
Get it. Want to remind you too,
Right.
Struggle and Robert Meyer Burnett, honorable mentions. Type them in, please. Private chat. And your biggest disappointments. Okay, what's next, Fletcher?
All right. Now we
Is it for me?
have yours, number 4.
Mine.
Your number 4.
Okay, number 4. All right, American Fiction.
Hmm.
American Fiction. Yeah, I wrote in my article, because I'm starting to write little articles now.
Link in
That
the description.
yeah, link is in the description. LatinoSlant.com.
Wow.
That American Fiction is a great commentary on Hollywood's fascination with the ghettoization of the Black experience.
Ghettoization.
It's also about a man, Jeffrey Wright, trying to find his place with his family and himself. Great movie. I what I loved about this film is to see these Black images, these Black people not be Hollywood Black, and yet talk about it in the subject matter. It made me think of all the horrible Latino representation we've been getting from Hollywood, that when it's done authentically, you can tell the difference. Here, it's a commentary on that, because he's a novelist, and then they're like, well, but you're not a Black novelist. He's like, well, I'm Black.
I am Black.
I'm Black. I mean, so that scenario where he gives a big FU to the system, and he writes this ghetto book called Pathology, and it's misspelled. But
Ghetto
then
Paulie. Pathology. You gotta put path.
sorry about that. Sorry. This is my review. Thank you, Struggles. Cabrona. That the just how just zany that is, that premise. It's all rooted in his family life that is going through a lot of real stuff.
Yeah.
Including the mom, who played by Leslie Uggams, I believe. And I think she either has dementia. I'm trying to remember what it was. That's real, and it's done very, very, done very well. So
I'm dying to see this movie.
yeah,
Well,
you're gonna love
Paulie,
it.
you stole my number 4.
That's your number 4.
This is my number 4 too.
Jump to it. Go ahead. Talk.
We said all the good stuff already. This is a great movie.
But see, wait, hold on. Fletcher, this is what happens when people don't send me their lists on time. So I can't flow right. I can't flow and give them the spotlight. Because I don't know what's
like a week in advance,
No,
it's 2 weeks. These
I
guys
need you to
have
co-sign down there, Fletcher.
2 weeks. These guys.
But no, it's great. I love this because it's very spontaneous. I do love that we don't know what's coming up next, but this was a really great movie. I love the subject matter and him being this novelist who's Black, but they feel like his writing isn't, Black enough. And it's like it reminded me so much of Spike Lee's Bamboozled and movies of that type of era. But anything with Jeffrey Wright in it, I'm watching it. He always delivers. He always delivers.
So all the way back when he played Basquiat, he's such a great. I loved him as Felix Leiter in the Bond movies. I mean, he's always been great.
Yes, very, very exceptional actor. Other actresses we love, like Tracy Ellis Ross and Erica Alexander.
Loved her.
Is here. Okay, Erica Alexander is always really, really awesome. But I love the fact that this movie is trying to have all this social commentary and turn this narrative of, is this or that Black enough, and this writing on its head. And the subject matter of the movie I feel like it was kind of like a parody because this movie wasn't on anybody's radar. if I'm not mistaken, I have not heard anyone like really discuss, this movie to the heights of what it should be. And you would think that something like this would be like, oh, best movie of the, just be in those conversations. And the fact that it's not says a whole lot about the agenda. It's really getting in. It's not so much, the Hollywood agenda because he is a writer, but we're still getting into certain agendas about, what's Black enough, what's not, and what's considered good enough to be pushed and what's not. And this movie definitely should have been pushed, but it wasn't. But it's really
see,
good.
I haven't seen it. I'm just dying because the subject matter. It's such a weird. I mean, obviously, I can't speak to it enough, but not at all. But growing up, it's so weird to see all the racial conversation sort of be the way it is now, because growing up and loving Black artists and watching, it seems like we've taken a step back in a way, and I don't. It's weird. So I don't know if that's what this movie is addressing, but the whole subject matter of it just appealed to me because I thought that we were doing good. I thought the evolution of our culture was doing well. And now suddenly we've kind of hit this wall and it's coming back where, people show that clip of Morgan Freeman talking about race. Stop talking about it then. Why are we talking about racism? Black History Month. Isn't all of America history Black history? Black, and that, when I saw the trailer, again, I've only seen the trailer, but watching Jeffrey Wright delve into this subject matter, I'm like, how is that? How have I not seen this movie?
Please, it's so funny. It's so
funny. And the gay brother,
truthful, probably.
And then the gay brother, Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, I love him.
Sterling K. Brown is great.
What a cast!
Yes,
what a cast!
Cast is very stacked. Very stacked.
Even
there's no Viola Davis, is there?
No.
No Viola Davis.
It's missing Viola Davis because
no, man,
he's busy. I'm sure.
We needed some Leslie Uggams, man. I haven't seen her in decades. And who was the other character that I really liked in the film? I liked them all. Of course, John Ortiz plays a literary agent. They have a lot of great moments.
Issa Rae also. Yeah,
Issa Rae. Because Issa Rae, her character writes for white liberals, gives them what they want.
Yeah,
and her and Jeffrey have a great exchange. Yeah, some good stuff. And then because they're all like they're all kind of asked to be on this board of peers to review books for the books of the year. Yeah. All right. Okay, that is my number
4.
I don't know where we're at because I know we jumped around.
4.
Number 4.
I have to give you number 4.
So
okay.
Mr. Burnett, yeah.
Okay, go for it, Robert.
Well, this has been a year where we've got a Ridley Scott movie, we got a Martin Scorsese movie, and I would say that both of those movies were not what I'd hoped that they were going to be. But another favorite director of mine did not let me down, and that is Michael Mann. And Michael Mann jumped ahead and brought us Ferrari, about Enzo Ferrari, and it's a movie about a few months in his life, and it deals with his personal life and his business life. He's failing on a number of fronts. Penelope Cruz plays his wife, and she's ferocious in the role. And I was like, can Adam Driver play Enzo Ferrari? I thought he was great.
Wow.
Look, sue me. I liked House of Gucci. I thought House of Gucci was a hoot. But Adam Driver in the role of an Italian, I love it. Maybe he's Italian, I don't know. But it's basically about Enzo Ferrari and his obsessions. On one hand, he's going to lose his company. He has to win a race. There's a big race across Italy. I forget what it's called. It's the mile something, the Mille something. And then at home, he's dealing with the fact that he's a womanizer, and he's got the dragon lady wife and Penelope Cruz, but Shailene Woodley in a surprising turn. The fact that she was cast as his mistress. I I really like this movie. I'm just a fan of Michael Mann's work. You know, I love The Insider. I love Last of the Mohicans. Thief is one of my favorite movies of all time. He's not
Heat.
always great. Like, I wanted Ali to be better than it was. It's good. And I wanted to, what's the gangster movie he made with Johnny Depp? I wanted that to be good, better than it was, but still
Public Enemy?
Public Enemies, yeah. I'll watch anything that he makes because he's a powerhouse filmmaker. And again, he's one of our filmmakers like Ridley Scott, like Martin Scorsese. They're like 80. They're in their 80s and they're still out there swinging. So I thought this movie was beautifully made. It's great. I loved it.
There's a few films that I just, this one and Society of Snow, I'm just not able to see it.
I haven't seen that either.
And I know those would make my list. I just didn't see them. So because this is my type of film as far as Michael Mann, Cars, and Penelope. I mean, you kidding me? You know, but I couldn't put it on the list if I didn't see it. So yeah, I mean, the filming looks great. I mean, how was it? Did it live up to it?
Oh, dude, it's great. It's beautifully made. I mean, it's so good. It's so, and again, the car stuff is really exciting to watch. It's just, it's a terrific film.
Struggles?
I did not see this one. I did not see this one, but anything with Penelope Cruz, and I just like to look at her, so I'll watch it.
Yeah. See. Okay, so we're at your number 4 now, right?
Yes.
No, my number 4 was your number 4.
Okay,
American
gotcha.
Fiction.
Gotcha. So we got the 4s down, right?
Yeah, we got the stereotype out the way.
Stereotype out the way. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, on both channels, we're live on Struggle Reviews on the Latino Slant. Please, my guys, go to Struggle, her site, subscribe. And if you'd be so kind, come to us and subscribe as well as Robert Meyer Burnett, the Burnett Work. You have a fantastic channel, sir. I'm a member of your channel.
Thank you.
And I have been for a long time, my friend.
I've got to do that.
Yeah. Speaking of, LDG hashtag free the net gifted 10 Latino Slant memberships. 10.
That's very nice.
Wow.
You know what that gets you guys? That gets you a dancing doggy. Muchísimas gracias. Okay, we're at muchísimas gracias otra vez. Thank you everyone for being here. Number 3, Rosa Parra's number 3 is Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer. That's my number 2. So
It's mine.
I think that's your number 1.
It's my number 1.
Why are we whispering?
I don't know.
Because it's Oppenheimer. The sound has to be all jacked up. Because it's art.
What if we did the entire rest of the show like an ASMR video?
That's what it's going to be.
Yes.
So now
Us
we have...
Latinos like it when we whisper like this to them. How are you tonight?
Next time, I'll
Number
take the day off work. I must defend my picks. Oh, my dog just went crazy.
Yes.
What you have to do.
Well, I'll go ahead and lay it out. I have yet to see Oppenheimer, okay?
What?
I have not
Get
seen
allowed.
it. I have not seen it.
Cancel.
I have not seen it. I am not the one who runs to watch stuff. I wait and watch movies when I get ready to. So I have not watched. It's on my list, but I haven't watched it.
It's just, it might be Christopher Nolan's best movie, I think.
Really?
There's very, very possible because the way it's a 3-hour movie, but when you watch the first 2 hours, the way he constructs it, the editing, it flies by. And what I love about this movie is he presupposes the audience watching it's really smart. Like he never talks down, and I mean you have to keep up, but it was I love
overly explaining anything, assuming that the audience doesn't know. We're just going. That's nice.
You're going, and it's so well done. I mean, it's And I can't believe it made almost $1 billion at the box office. It gives me hope for humanity. I mean, I know the Barbenheimer thing, but still, it
still kept making money. Really fast, guys. We're talking about Rosa Parra's number. Yeah, I had to get that in there. Yeah,
that sounded like a John Carpenter score.
Fancy.
Well, got original tunes from James Esparza. So listen,
like Season of the Witch.
Yeah, R&B.
yes,
R&B, Oppenheimer, everything aligns. To me, it's a perfect film.
It really is.
It really is. From obviously what every human on this planet Earth has to deal with, as far as the invention of this nuclear bomb and what can it do and all that, to a very personal vendetta between Robert Downey Jr. and Oppenheimer. That was fantastic.
Oh, and that's another thing. Robert Downey Jr., for an actor, I mean, he's a really handsome guy. And to dress to play thinning hair, looking old.
Oh, yeah.
He's just stunning. Downey Jr. is killing it in this. Yeah. I love that. So good.
And Rosa says, it'll be screened in theaters again soon. Seen on the biggest screen possible with the best audio. It's worth it, Struggles.
I'll go. Around that time, I was with the kiddos, and of course, we opted to. Well, we saw Barbie. We saw Barbie, and I didn't get a chance to see this one. But if it is, that says a whole lot that it's coming back to theaters. I do know that it was highly successful.
That's
but
amazing.
Of course, Barbie was highly successful. So I was like, I'm hoping that this is way better than Barbie.
It's one of the best 4K discs of the year, too. It's just a stunning presentation.
I'll probably see it again. Warner Films 2.5 hours to 3 hours plus now. At least place an intermission in there.
These movies deserve it, though. This movie earns it.
Some films you feel the time. Some you don't. Killers of the Flower Moon. I felt the time.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's not a good thing. No, I mean Nolan. Jeez, man, he put all his powers together, man, on that one. Okay, where are we, Fletcher?
We are number 3. So you have yours, Rosa Parra.
Oh, my number 3. Where's my article? My number 3 is Godzilla. Godzilla. I know we've talked about this. I'll make it really quick. From my article, I just said, never has a monster movie been more about the human condition. From a deep personal line. You like that?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well done.
Thank you. From a deep personal shame of our leading man to the hopelessness of a country's people in post-war Japan, this film is so entertaining and heartbreaking. Oh yeah, Godzilla shows up from time to time. Yeah.
It's pretty good, Paulie.
Pretty good. Moving along, what do we got, Fletch?
So 3. I think we need Struggles and Mr. Roberts 3.
Okay.
Should I go first?
Go ahead.
Mine too is Godzilla -1. It is right there with you. I'm right there with you. As a lifelong, we talked about this before, but as a lifelong Godzilla fan, not only do you get that ferocious monster action I've been craving since I was a 5-year-old, which, by the way, you can't sit there and say that Godzilla is a film series full of masterpieces. As much as I enjoy my kaiju films, that genre of movie it's not exactly known for its Academy Award winning output. This, however, I'm not saying this is an Academy Award winning, but it could be. This is I was really knocked out by this film. Only because it is I was calling this the Skyfall of Godzilla movies, because the same way that Skyfall became a sort of a serious reinvention of Bond or whatever, this film does that. It brings a new level of respect to an inherently disreputable franchise. It just didn't turn. I mean, and I don't think anyone ever tried to make. I mean, people say, "Oh, it's the best Godzilla movie since the original," but you know, I don't even think that the original is as good as this. But you know, maybe that's up for debate. But it's hard to believe the first Godzilla movie was made in 1954.
Wow.
And you know, you have this coming out in 2023. You know, right before, what does that make it? This 54, the 70th anniversary of Godzilla next year. What a way to celebrate that. I can't wait. You know, they're putting out Godzilla -1 with minus color.
Black and
So they're
white.
doing a black and white version of this too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Is that a direct homage to the 54?
Probably
Or just
so.
because, hey, it was done in...
No, I think it is.
Was
I think
post-war.
it is a like an homage, and they didn't just take all the color out. They went and individually. I mean, they didn't just give it an overall. Let's just take the color out. They actually went back and recolorized. I mean, redesaturate. No, they retimed the whole movie to be black and white, shot by shot. So it should probably look pretty amazing.
So Jupe is saying, you know, I think I need more as far as, you know, being convinced. You're gonna fall in love with the people, with the characters. There's some major shame going on with this lead character.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, he's a kamikaze pilot that's still alive.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's you really do. The thing about Godzilla movies is that the human stories are rarely that compelling.
Oh yeah, you don't really care. You're like,
You don't-
get rid of them.
But in this, you really do, and they really, the acting is terrific, and it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Okay, and Miss Struggles, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is the Australian supernatural horror Talk to Me.
Ooh, yes.
Yes.
Talk to Me is my number 3 film. I really, really love horror, and which is crazy because this was from A24. It almost feels like if it's not something coming from A24, it's not even worth your time anymore. So the fact that we could take something as regular and normal and done to death as the possession horror like genre and make it refreshing and get me excited again, I love this movie. I love this movie so much. And then when I found out this film was being spearheaded by 2 brothers who come from a YouTube background, and you know, it was funded, and it was like the equivalent of doing a lot with a little bit of nothing. It was really great. This equating like possession to peer pressure and drug use, and just it was so much. It was so much. That, along with, I love gore, I love graphic, like bloody. I love things that make me like squeamish. It's really hard. I'm a horror vet. Like, it takes a lot to like kind of make me This made me more than I ever expected it to. And just the writing, the lead here was so different. I love that I didn't know one person here on the cast, and this all, you know, felt refreshing, and all these newcomers. And I loved how just the sense of, you know, the dread of losing someone and dealing with the loss, and how that can impact others around you. And our lead, Mia, becoming clingy and just really getting into peer pressure as to why this, even in this type of possession scenario, this seems very much so plausible and in the now, where they are getting into the social media, recording themselves, and, you know, kind of look what I can do. And it's trendy until it's not. It's fun until it's not. And getting into human behavior when things go down and start to happen, you know, people start to flee and want to separate themselves. And, you know, some people like maybe not having, you know, common decency for other human beings. But this was like low-key like the best horror movie this year for me personally. I love this movie, and I cannot wait to see what else those 2 brothers have in store, because if they can breathe life into the possession genre, I'm really looking like out of nowhere. I've been telling them, and on their channels and on their Instagrams, trying to see what are these guys going to do next, because it was just that good to me personally. I don't know about you guys, but I love this movie.
I think you're absolutely bang on. And the guys, the brothers who made this movie, you know, cut their teeth making social media videos for like
Yeah.
YouTube and Instagram. And I would have thought, I got criticized this year by somebody who was angry that I was asking, where are all the new filmmakers?
Yeah.
And now that we've got so much equipment, everyone's carrying around 4K cameras in their pockets. And
Mhm.
why aren't we seeing more filmmakers being able to make great feature films? And the answer to that is it's really hard.
Yeah.
And to see these two young brothers having honed their craft, I always go back and I always cite Spike Lee when I saw She's Gotta Have It for the first time. I saw it at a film festival in the mid 80s. And, it's about a woman in Brooklyn, black and white, who has multiple boyfriends and her travails. Not a subject matter that I knew much about living in Seattle. And I was knocked out by that movie because you could see the inherent talent in what Spike Lee could do. And then 2 movies later, he makes Do the Right Thing, which, to my mind is still to this day one of the great American classic movies of the latter half of the 20th century. I'm not saying that these brothers are going to make it Do the Right Thing but they might. I mean, not exactly that movie, but they're really talented. And like you put it, they deal with some, not only is this a great horror movie, but they deal with real subject matter.
Yeah.
It's a teen, it really deals with teen issues in a really compelling way. And I loved it.
Yeah, and it's subtle. It's subtle. There isn't a whole lot. It says a whole
Right.
lot that they're doing this much with a hand and black contacts. But a lot of their filming work, the way that they are doing the camera and shifting with the bodies, and you're kind of moving along with it. It was different, and the subtle things really, really matter. I love that we got a bleak ending where it's like, oh, everybody's not going to make it. The fact that we always think the lead character is going to be wrapped up in a nice little bow, and they're eventually going to be saved. There's going to be Nikki.
Yeah, I was just like, boom.
There's gonna be, a happy ending. And the fact that it's, sacrificial and it's not, she's not rewarded for her sacrifice, you're trapped. I love that. I love the movie.
Yep.
All right, what do we have next? I love the movie too. It's in my honorable mentions. It's in my honorable mentions. Yeah.
So we got number 2. We got Rosa's number 2.
Okay.
And we still lead Mr. Roberts' this honorable mentions and disappointments in the private chat.
Okay. So number 2 from Rosa Parra. And I gotta say, I'm really surprised. Blue Beetle.
What?
Okay. Number 2. Let's do this number 2.
Blue Beetle.
That's right. Got the beats.
Rosa Parra's number 2 best film of the year. Blue Beetle, starring Xolo Maridueña, George Lopez, Susan Sarandon. Tells the origin story of Jaime Reyes and the Scarab. I love this film. I absolutely love this film. But I see myself as heavily biased, and I've always said that with this movie. So I did see it 5 times in the theater. I am getting now more than any other film this year, R&B and struggles. People coming back to me saying, I just saw Blue Beetle. I loved it. I shouldn't have listened to the naysayers. Like, yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad you're discovering it now. It's a gem of a film. It's in my honorable mentions. My top 10 is pretty stacked. And maybe a 10 for me, but I loved that Rosa put this at number 2. Did you guys see this film?
Yeah. I like Blue Beetle. I just wish they pushed the extra mile. It felt familiar, and I wanted them to be like completely different. It felt very reminiscent of people that we've seen before. But other than that, I enjoyed Blue Beetle for what it was, and my son loved it.
I feel the same way, and I like the family aspects of it.
Yes.
And but like you, I felt it was overly familiar. It was like a rote superhero story, but they could, I don't know what more they could have done with it, but I enjoyed it for what it was. It was a lot of fun. And I think if it was made like 10 years ago, it probably would have been a big hit.
Oh yeah. But I get in my own head, and I'll get to seeing things and comparing it to like, oh, that was very Iron Man. That was very, I don't like doing that. I just want to enjoy the movie in the moment.
But here we go. Rosa Parra. Blue Beetle is such an important film to me. The pride I felt in watching it is just otherworldly. These are my favorite of the year, and I regret nothing. Absolutely, girl. No, listen.
Don't regret anything,
Don't
Rosa.
regret it. And I will tell you, it's got some beautiful moments in there. In particular, in Spanish with Jaime and his father in the afterworld. I love that dream sequence. I think it's a comeback. I told R&B, I think this year has been a comeback for fathers and sons and relationships and brothers. And I thought that little relationship, I would have loved more of it, but I thought that was spot on. Cool. Great. Okay, what's next? Thank you, Rosa.
Yours.
My number 2, we've already talked about. And my number 2 is Oppenheimer. So let's go on.
Robert?
Let's go to Robert's number 2.
Well, my number 2 is Past Lives. And I seem to remember talking about this before on the show.
Yeah, it was our mid-year report. You were like Past Lives. I'm like, what is that?
Now people are going to watch Past Lives and they're going to think, what's the big deal? You know, but it's a quiet, subtle movie.
Remember you said that because I'm gonna back that up. Go ahead, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a quiet, subtle movie that you don't have to have big, giant bombast for something to really endure. And to me, it is like a tone poem. And when I first watched it the first time, I thought, like, where's the other shoe going to drop? When is this going to be? This woman's married, and you think this guy's going to come from Korea. So, here's the story. The story is there's this guy and this girl in Korea as children, like when they're 12, and they're inseparable. And then the girl leaves with her family, and I guess they go to Canada, and then she moves to New York and marries a fellow writer, a white guy, and they have a great life together. But the guy who stays behind in Korea, he never has forgotten her, and they end up developing later, when they're in their 30s, they catch up on Facebook, and they just start talking. And this guy, I think in his mind, he really believes that they were destined to be together, and he's going to go meet her, and she's happy to see him, but she's also happily married. And you see them enjoying one another's company, and you can't help but wonder, as they can't help but wonder, what would it have been like, if we had been a couple. And I'm programmed by the kinds of movies that we see to think that it's going to go a certain way, and it really doesn't. And the movie doesn't have a gigantic emotional explosion. But it does make you, and first of all, it's gorgeous to look at. But it's a very quiet, subtle movie. But there was something about it that I made me think, because there's so many people in life, not just ex-girlfriends or people that I've known that I don't talk to anymore, and I wonder whatever happened to them. We have people that drift in and out of our lives, and I don't think we ever truly forget people that touch us in whatever ways that are meaningful to us. And that's what this movie sort of deals with. And the fact that can you be friends? Like, I wondered, could they ever keep up a friendship, or would this relationship thing always be a problem? But it seems like they could. And there's just something very human and very, it just left me with a warm feeling, if that makes any sense. I mean, it really did.
No.
And, I bought the movie, I own the Blu-ray, I've watched it a few more times. And I just, again, it plays with expectations, I think, but it's not the movie you expect it to be. And it really stuck with me. But it's a quiet movie. Most people are going to probably say to me, well, it was good, Rob, but I don't get why you loved it so much. And it's just one of those things where I think it's the people that really love it will really love it. Most people will be like, oh, that was nice. But I love it.
And that's great. That's great. I love I really want to see it now. I really want to see it.
I have not seen Past Lives, but
Yeah.
when I was looking up movies, because when you say get a list, I was like, well, I don't remember what I watched, Paulie. Let
I didn't say it like that.
Get
God,
a
make
list
me look like a
together,
dick.
Struggles. I was like, let me, and I
Get a
saw that,
list,
and I was like,
motherfucker.
I saw that, and I was like, oh, I wonder what this is, and I didn't know
Yeah.
either one of you had seen it or would mention it, but it looked very intriguing, and it's something that I am looking forward to watching.
What is your number 2?
We already discussed my number 2. My number 2 is Poor Things. My number 2 is Poor Things. Like, I love Poor Things. I think this is Emma Stone at her best. This is my favorite role from her so far. If she got it for La La Land, she better get something for this. I love the social commentary with it. It's, first of all, it's crazy. I think I said it was a Frankenstein movie on like psychedelic steroids. Like it's insane, and I like that. Like visually, the directing style. It's almost like you're like looking in on a conversation or peeping through a peephole or something. Like it's just everything. Just the lens that is being shot through, like the cinematography was just really really brilliant. The commentary that comes along with Emma Stone being, created and man-made and having the I won't give away too much. Okay, she was with child, and then she goes kaput, and to bring her back, they insert the brain from the baby that she was carrying into her head. So you're watching her relearn how to pretty much do everything. She's growing up right before your eyes, and you have Mark Ruffalo, who is infatuated and all these things. It's just so great about her. But when she the further she goes mentally as a woman, it's just like, oh, she's become a terror and she's too much to handle, and she's just pretty much finding herself in her own everything. But then you have William Dafoe, like he's incredible, like him, and kind of giving that it's alive type of energy, and he looks insane in the face.
He plays it up.
Yes, he really, really plays it up, and this was a role that he could do a whole lot with. I loved him here just as much as I loved him in The Lighthouse. It's just really, really good, and I only got to see it one time, and I really want to see it again. So you can catch certain things and it could seek in, but I remembered enough, and it impacted me enough for me to make it my number 2. And everything that Robert said about it earlier, it's just that times 10. But if you love different, it's very whimsical. It feels very Tim Burton-esque.
Whimsical is a great word.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say it now because I didn't get that from the trailer, and I just got it just being so annoying. But you know what? And I've seen Yorgos's other film. Was it the deer one?
Yeah, Killing of a Sacred Deer.
The Killing of a Sacred Deer. No, you didn't like it?
Wasn't for me. But listen, I'm gonna give this.
What about the movie
Willem
with the
Dafoe will always be Jesus. LOL.
not Jesus?
There you go. Look
Oh
who's here.
man,
There's our
yeah. I
buddy.
think
We
I
gave
think
you props earlier, Tom. We gave you props earlier, my friend.
I hope you enjoy it, Paulie. Like I just go in with a clear mind and just expect, like it's so different. It felt like they didn't care making this movie. So many movies now are projected based on, oh, how much money is this movie going to make? What audience is it for?
Right.
Graphically, it's R-rated, and we get some really like graphic things happening. Like it's
Yeah, there's like a lot of booty in this, right?
yeah, it's
Booty. What's another name for pirate treasure?
Right,
Booty.
that's booty.
this isn't a safe movie. It just feels like somebody wanted to make their own thing, and they did that, no matter the cost, no matter who saw it or how much money it was going to make or not. And we don't get enough movies like that. This is very different.
Okay. All right. So where are we at now, Mr. Fletcher?
We are ready to go with numero uno.
Numero uno. We got production.
Oh, wait, what?
Production.
We got production. Okay, we're gonna go with Rosa Parra's number 1 movie of the year, Galaxy of the Galaxy 3.
Okay.
So let's look at her whole list. There's her whole list.
Struggles like, bless her heart.
Well, let's look at the whole list here, right? I love it. I love it. I don't have I didn't see Guardians. But I
Really?
don't have I didn't see it. I don't have a problem with any of these. So these films are either my top 10 or my top 20 of the year. Guardians, Robert R&B.
I really liked it. You know, I thought that the origin of Rocket was both sad and horrifying. And you really, you know, I thought all three. I like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 more than a lot of people did. I mean, I love the idea of dysfunctional families and people dealing with that dysfunction, whether it was Nebula and Gamora or whether it was Ego and Star-Lord. I mean, I thought, and the Guardians themselves. I think this is an incredibly strong trilogy of films, and if it wasn't part of the MCU, you know, it would exist. It would be equally great. You know, these films can kind of exist outside of the rest of the MCU, and the fact that James Gunn makes these big epic fantasies, but at the same time leaves them grounded in the emotional reality of the characters. I mean, who would have thought you would have felt such sympathy for a cybernetic raccoon? You know, yeah. I mean, it's I really like this movie a lot, and there's a reason why it was one of the more successful Marvel films of the year.
Yeah, same here. I've seen it, and of course, that emotional pull for Groot is always going to be my guy. I love Groot.
Oh yeah,
Who
and he
doesn't
was
love
great
Groot?
in this movie too.
Yes. But just the direction that they went with Rocket, it was very unexpected and very touching. I was like, why am I so emotional for Rocket? But
yeah,
just to put it into perspective, I hate to use like, oh, it's the you know, the best Marvel MCU, but it's like with what we're getting from Marvel, that's not hard to be. But even if it wasn't attached to that, it would still be a really good movie. And I wish that it wasn't, like you said, so we could just take the movies all three for face value. It is a very, very good trilogy, and I thought it was really, really great. I love it. I loved it more than the second one, actually.
Fantastic list, Rosa Parra. Her links are in our video box description. She writes for different publications, and we love her to death. And thank you again so much, Rosa. Okay, what's your let's break it up. Struggles.
She actually made a comment on it.
Wait, hold on. What?
Rosa, she left a comment.
I love Guardians of the Galaxy, and this farewell to the gang was well done. Rocket story broke my heart. Plus, dog days are over. It'll never be the same to me.
Oh,
there you go. There you go. Again, I regret nothing.
Great list, Rosa.
Great list.
Good list.
Okay. Struggles. What is your number one movie?
Me?
Wait, hold on. Yeah, one more time.
Yeah. Groovy. Well, with me, because you know me, I'm Black. And we only get, you know, a certain amount of movies per year, it feels like. And it always seems like we get stuck in certain genres. So just for that alone, They Clone Tyrone is my number one. I can't speak for all of us, but I know a lot of us reviewers, when we talk about areas that we want to see ourselves in, we always bring up horror and science fiction. Like if we could just get some horror and some science fiction, that would just make our day. And to put us in this science fiction aspect and combine that with things like, you know, the blaxploitation era and other things that I love, the acting, I love Jamie Foxx and Tiana Parrish, like everything that I would have wanted in a film like that was there. And it was the film that I personally anticipated all year, and it didn't disappoint. And I'm hoping that we do get a part 2, even though sometimes those could, you know, ruin the whole, you know, the thought process of what you loved about the first one. But They Clone Tyrone is absolutely my number one movie for, you know, one, it was us. I love to see us on screen. I love to see us in multiple genres. This movie was smartly written. Outside of that, it was so many Easter eggs and pockets of little information to go in deep dive and break down and go, oh, I wonder what that really meant. And also, you know, paying homage to other, you know, blaxploitation era films, as well as something, you know, as recent as what is that freaking Undercover Brother or something. Or, you know, Black Dynamite, and, you know, those type of movies that I love. So to add that and put us in a science fiction setting, it's absolutely going to be my number one.
You know what? I don't know if I'd put it my number one, but I love this movie too.
Mhm.
I thought it was because I love blaxploitation movies.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Original Gangsters, directed
course.
by.
Yes.
So it was directed by Larry Cohen, who directed Black Caesar, one of the first blaxploitation movies, and in the '90s he made Original Gangsters, and he brought back everybody from Fred Williamson, Richard Roundtree, Pam Grier,
Jim Brown.
and Jim Brown, and I went to the first showing of that movie. It was at the Cinerama Theater here in Hollywood, big gigantic theater. There was only like 6 of us in the theater, and we were all there for the right reasons. And when Fred Williamson steps, he has a Learjet, and the Learjet pulls up to this, and the thing goes down. And he's getting out of the Learjet, is back like he's come back to conquer the hood, and he takes his stogie out of his mouth. The 6 of us in the theater, we're all like, yes. and there was that kind of energy in this movie in a way, because it's funny now. I worry by just saying blaxploitation on a live stream if I'm going to offend somebody.
Oh, please, not me, of all people.
Well, but that's the thing. It's a genre of film,
not us.
And it exists. I mean, you go back like when Eddie Murphy made Dolomite Is My Name.
Yeah, really good.
It was so good, and people are like, "Who's Rudy Ray Moore?" There's like it was. I am the human tornado. Like I used to love,
that. But you could take the the blaxploitation out of it, and because I got a lot of my favorite Invasion of the Body Snatchers, just movies like that. There were so many different references to pull from that just made me go, "Oh, I love this movie."
Yeah, it was funny, and it didn't get the kind of reviews I thought it would get either. Like it didn't get the great, but it was wildly entertaining.
Yes.
Well, in regards to your pick, just my opinion.
Thank you, B. Thank you, B.
Favorite of the year.
Yes.
My husband, John Boyega.
Yeah, we were your husband, Nikki. John Boyega was great.
He's such an incredible talent, man.
Yes, he is.
And he's great in Attack the Block.
Yes.
That was good.
The first time I ever saw him.
If you like Zoolander 2, you'll like They Clone Tyrone. Same movie, different universe. Interesting. Wait a minute. Why'd you take? I was waiting. You guy. Sometimes. Wait a minute. Struggles is black.
Right? Who would have guessed?
What?
¿Qué?
What? We don't. No. Eso no. Eso
No. Okay, great. Number one. Thank you. Coming up is your honorable mentions and your biggest disappointments. Don't go anywhere, guys. We now have Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett and your number one.
Well, I've already talked about it a lot, but it
Wait,
wasn't.
Hold on. And your number one. Yeah.
Production.
Production.
I mean,
Struggles is black.
Yeah, cállate, way.
You can't. But you know what? These days, you can't assume that people might not identify that way. Just because they look some way doesn't mean that's the way they identify. You got to ask.
Hot take.
Got to ask.
Hot take.
Make sure.
Carly, if you're not Latino, just tell me now.
R&B.
It was Oppenheimer, and just from first of all, I mean, there's like every white male actor that exists on planet Earth is in this movie. I mean, I watched this movie, I'm like, that guy's back. I mean, it was everybody was in it. I mean, it was the period, so that it's not like it's a racially diverse film, but it was just a knockout. The technological prowess inherent in every frame of making this movie is it was so, the command of the cinematic language, the editing, the acting, the music, everything about it just floored me. Although I will say this, I am a fan of eroticism in film. This does have one of the weirdest erotic moments in a movie, I think maybe ever. It's just kind of bizarre and out of left field.
Weirder than like a Videodrome? Weirder than that?
No, it wasn't. It was weird. No, not weirder than Videodrome.
Okay.
or Crash, or like not weirder than Cronenberg, but it just seemed like it was. I understand what he was going for, but at that particular moment, it just seemed a little bit out of place. I just bumped on it. Hey, don't get me wrong, I appreciated it, but it was just a little odd. But other than unlike say in Fair Play, I love that, and it was extreme and great. But other than that, it was just a small little thing. But the movie is, it's an incredible film. And I wanted to say one thing. I've read a criticism about it. Some people said, well, they never show the results of what happened with Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the dropping of the bombs on Japan.
Mhm.
Well, but the thing is, he wasn't there. Oppenheimer wasn't there, and they kind of show when he's realized what he's unleashed, and the idea that what has happened to the world because of this tremendous, horrible power that he brought into the world. And it does a really great job, I think, of dealing with these issues in a very profound way. But again, Christopher Nolan is presupposing great intelligence on the part of the audience, and it's wild. I will never understand how this movie almost made $1 billion. I wish every movie that was like this made $1 billion, but it gives me hope. Of all the things that happened with humanity this year, one of the things that gave me the most hope is that enough people saw this movie that it almost made $1 billion, which means people are looking for smart, well thought out, and beautifully presented entertainment. If you make something, they'll come up to your level. You don't have to dumb things down to get people to go.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, stick around. RMB's got his honorable mentions and disappointments coming up. But I think I'm ready for my number one film. Here we go.
Production.
Yeah. Production.
Nice. I'm going to clap that now.
Hegland's writer-director called The Finestkind. Stars Tommy Lee Jones, Toby Wallace, Jenna Ortega, Ben Foster, Lolita Davidovich, Tim Daly. Incredible cast. Ishmael Cruz Cordova is in it as well. For the very same reasons that Robert explained Past Lives is why this grabbed me so much. And I've already seen it twice. You can see it on Paramount. It just came out a few weeks ago. Is that comfort in just a story, a wonderfully made, just a storytelling laid out, no tricks, no agendas. If the agenda is hanging out and trying to reconnect with your brother, then I'm all in, because our lead character, Toby Wallace, he's pre-law and he wants to reconnect with his brother, who's a fisherman, played by Ben Foster. And it's such a beautiful thing just to see this whole first hour just roll out very slowly in these brothers and him teaching him how to commercial fish. I mean,
wow.
It really, that's what you're getting this first hour. So the filmmaking is incredible, as they're on the seas a lot, and the drama of it happens in the second half, which I really appreciate because I'm already invested in all the characters in it, and I just want you guys to go see this. I don't want to hype it too much. It just struck me because I'm a big fan in positive male characters, where brothers reunite, fathers do the craziest things they have to do for their sons, and then a father played by Tim Daly, who just wants to go along for the ride and be there for his son. No one's this. Another thing that I love about our lead guy, which I think gets it's gotten some criticism, and it's gotten really horrible reviews from critics. Which I don't really care. is that our lead character, he's not a broken kid. He's raised they raised a very good kid who's pretty up, but he's yearning for something else in his life. And he finds it in fishing with his brother. Where even at the end of the story, they're like, do you want to be captain? He's like, no, we already have my brother's the captain. If I'm captain, I don't get to fish with my brother. I mean, I was just like, I was losing it. And I see why Jenna took this role, because it's a small role and she does really well with it, but she's working with heavyweights. Alex Heglin wrote and won the Academy Award for LA Confidential. Wrote and directed Payback, 42, among other.
Ryan Helgeland.
Excuse me. Thank you. Ryan, thank you. I knew I couldn't get his first name. I wasn't remembering it. So I see why she picked this role. And it was filmed. It's filmed and set. The story is set in New Bedford, which is the second biggest fishing port in the States. And so there's that whole culture and community there of we're hard working class people, white, Portuguese, black, whatever. It's the makeup is there. They don't talk about it. It's just there. There's other things that are going on. And her character just wants to break free from some of the bonds that she has with her toxic mom. Incredible film. My number one of the year.
Nice. Finestkind. Wow. I'll go seek this out.
I want to see it. I have never heard of this film.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, because of the way the slant tracks, Jenna Ortega was just, she's in this new one. Okay,
yeah,
saw the trailer, read about it, and then it came out, and I was like, oh my god. And I saw it with Romy, and Romy's sensibilities are very much like, don't give me the explosions, the ridiculous stories. Just give me people talking that are authentic. And we both just with this movie. And again, there's an ending scene with Tim Daly and Toby Wallace that's so satisfying as a father and son. It just that was really loved it. And maybe Oppenheimer and all these the other films are just bigger and better, but I needed this film. And this is my number one. Yay!
I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, so let's go. Let's have some fun now. We're gonna wrap this up as soon as we can because I know you guys have been here. Let's go to Struggles honorable mention.
Oh gosh.
What do you got for us?
Some nothing. Some absolute nothing.
What do you mean? You got run them out, run them down for us.
All right.
God.
My honorable mentions were Renfield, Cocaine Bear, Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget, and Guardians of the Galaxy. I love comedy. I love Nicolas Cage and everything that comes along with him. And I thought Renfield was one of his better projects. I know he recently came out with something else where people are like dreaming of him. I haven't seen that one, but just my love for throwback Transylvania, old school Dracula movies and like slick slapstick-esque comedy. I really enjoy Renfield for that. Cocaine Bear was just fun. Cocaine Bear was just really, really fun. The premise, a bear running around the forest, high on cocaine. Don't need anything else, along with some children running around in the forest, high on cocaine. I don't need anything else. I'm just here to laugh. Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget. Chicken Run is one of my favorite animations like ever. I love it. And the fact that they came out with a part 2 and it wasn't terrible after all this time, and they were able to encapsulate me again to why I love that animation in the first place. It's available on Netflix. I love that. And we already spoke to Guardians of the Galaxy being, absolutely a tearjerker and a moving situation. As far as my disappointments, I have Indiana Jones. That crap. That was terrible. I was really disappointed in that. I shouldn't have got my hopes up.
I'm right. That was probably my biggest disappointment. I'm right there with you.
I just really wanted the Dial of Destiny. He deserves more respect. The Indiana Jones series, especially the first two.
Oh wait, did we jump to Did you jump? Sorry, I had to check on
Oh,
my
I
dog.
went to the disappointments.
Okay, biggest struggles, biggest disappointments.
Yeah, you got some some answers. You have something that's gonna come up on the screen for the disappointment. So we can go production.
Man, we production.
No.
No, we didn't get. Dang
Yeah.
it.
Indiana Jones was very disappointing, and the first two, as far as like action adventures movies, those are like my favorites. So the fact that his character went out on such a sad note, in my personal opinion, it just really didn't pay respect to Harrison Ford and what he's done with the role for many, many years. And I also have Exorcist the Believer. I thought with them bringing back
Bruh.
I was hoping, for 2 seconds with them bringing back her name is escaping me from the first Exorcist, the mom.
Oh, Ellen Burstyn.
Yes, Ellen Burstyn with them. How can I forget her name?
Mm.
She's a really great asset and a really great actor. And just from who she was there to bring her back here and do what they did with her character, it was very disappointing, as well as the movie. And I also have Insidious Red Door. I love the first Insidious, and I was hoping with them getting the cast back together once again with that hope that the movie would, justify that. It did not, and that was disappointing. But that's all I have.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, let's go to honorable mentions. Where's your R&B? Did you type it?
No.
You just went disappointments.
Yeah, disappointments.
Whoa.
I didn't do honor, but I got my honorable mentions.
Okay, go for it.
One, there's an actor named Coleman Domingo who you might know. He was the voice of Unicron in Rise of the Beasts. He plays Mr. Danny Glover's part in the new Color Purple.
Yes.
And he was in a movie called Rustin. And he basically plays Bayard Rustin, who was the man who planned the March on Washington. And he was kind of Martin Luther King's right-hand man. And to be honest, I didn't know much about him at all until I saw this movie. And I thought this movie was terrific. I really love him as an actor. I mean, he's an incredibly, he won an Emmy for being on Euphoria of all things. I mean, if you look at his IMDb, he's an incredibly diverse performer. He can do anything. He's a really great actor, and I thought it was a real star-making turn. I don't know if he's going to get an Academy Award nomination, but you can see this movie on Netflix. I think it's worth. I love historical stories that tell me things I don't know, and I thought this was a really fine film. And along the same lines, my second honorable mention is Maestro. I really liked Maestro a lot. I love Leonard Bernstein. I grew up listening to Leonard Bernstein work, and I didn't know much about the man. Bradley Cooper both directed this. I think he wrote it too, and stars as Leonard Bernstein.
Definitely directed it.
Yeah, and he directed Star is Born. He's a great director. And I thought it was the movie was incredible, and it's maybe not everyone's cup of tea, but both of these movies were, again, they're biopics, and I'm a sucker for biopics and people that were basically contemporaries as well. So really enjoyed both movies and both performances, both Bradley Cooper's and Coleman Domingo's. Wow, I mean, really great.
I saw Rustin like 2 nights ago.
Do you like it?
Not a fan of the movie, loved him. And I love his story.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
It was one of those stories that I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
But I really
definitely knew about Rustin before.
Yeah,
I was expecting a little something way more dynamic.
Well, again, it doesn't, it's I would say, yeah, I can understand expecting.
To me, it's a little too after school special.
Okay, but I can see that. I mean,
listen. It's not that it's bad. Bad. I also felt like a lot of those things I've seen before in films for the last couple of decades.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a classical tale.
But he's great. His performance was fantastic. Okay, and you got disappointments.
My disappointments, again, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, are probably my biggest disappointments. Only because I expected. Well, Napoleon, we're going to see the 4-hour version on Apple Plus. So I felt like when I saw Kingdom of Heaven from Lee Scott, I hated the theatrical version, but you see the the longer version, it's a masterpiece. It's like an hour longer. I kind of felt that way about Napoleon. I thought it was really disjointed, beautiful to look at. Don't know if I really like or buy Joaquin Phoenix in the role, but
No, no.
I know.
No.
I'm hoping maybe if I watch the new version of it, I'll like it more. But again, two of my favorite filmmakers, and Killers of the Flower Moon. It's not that it was, I don't know, it wasn't a bad movie.
No.
I just didn't think it was as compelling, nearly as compelling as it should have been.
Mm.
You know, and it was so long, and I just don't think it came off the way that they wanted to.
It didn't, because if it's worth it, I'll stay. I'd stay for all of the Irishmen.
Oh yeah, me too. And again, I have to say how, you know, I thought Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny made the error, the biggest error that I felt that the movie made was there was no joy in it.
Yeah.
You know, you've reduced the Indiana Jones character to, like, I thought I would have flipped the script, you know, on that. And Indiana Jones, you know, the man knows that God is real. I mean, he saw what he didn't see because he wasn't watching, but he knows that the power of God came out of the Ark of the Covenant and killed all the Nazis and raiders. He's seen miraculous things. So I would think that he would have grown up and become more of a Gandalf character, that kind of knowingly, and he would have been the most riveting teacher of all. And like, you know, the movie's dealing with the ticker tape parade they're giving for the astronauts. Indiana Jones would have been the first guy, even after Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, to be like, I wonder what those astronauts are going to find up there, because I've seen evidence of, you know, and I think that they took the character in, like, they made him a sad sack.
No wisdom whatsoever.
Yeah, and I was just like, why are you doing this? And it was missing the fun spark. I mean, look, it was very beautifully made, but I was just sitting there the whole time thinking, when is this movie going to start? None of the action sequences were particularly engaging.
Did you say, when is this movie going to start?
Yeah, it never. It was like, you know, it was like you're making out with somebody, but it's just not working out. You know what it is? That's kind of the way I felt about this movie. I kept waiting to, like, you know, be aroused, and I wasn't.
It wasn't you, movie. It's me.
Oh, I think there is. Well, let me get to my honorable mention. Was that it, sir? Was that it? You said something about I love the Flash. Were you being funny?
No, I really like the Flash. I was just saying that I like that movie more than a lot of other people. I thoroughly enjoyed
Me
the
and
Flash.
Paulie's face, like,
I know, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Listen. Your Flash is my Blue Beetle. Okay, where am I?
I like Michael Keaton. That's all I like.
I loved it. Okay, my honorable mentions. Honorable. Que Viva Mexico, which is by one of my favorite Mexican directors, Luis Estrada. No, oh God, it's such a great tale. Really, what he's a master of is where Mexico is at in the political social world at that time. Since I can remember Luis doing films, early 90s all the way up to now, he depicts it in his films. So the left aren't spared, the right aren't spared. No one's spared in his films. Que Viva Mexico stars Alfonso Herrera, Ana de la Reguera, and just that the tale is this family that owns, they're so poor, but yet they own a gold mine. But they don't know exactly how much gold they have. The upstart son who comes back to try to first sell everything after the father dies discovers what they have, and hilarity, satirical comedy ensue. It's really it's not one of his best films, but it's really good. And a lot of his films you can catch on Netflix. It is in Spanish, and great characters, including the incredible Damian Alcázar, who played Blue Beetle's dad in the film Blue Beetle, the same actor. But to see him act in Spanish, it's just a whole different onda. Blue Beetle. It's my honorable mention. I absolutely adore the film. It's a gem of a superhero film in a world of terrible superhero films this year. And we'll get to that in a minute. Air, Talk to Me. We talked about it. Radical, we talk about it. Those are all just very very entertaining films this year. Like R&B, I'm really 2023 was an incredible year for film. Just amazing year for film. That being said, here are my biggest disappointments. I base them off of not like, oh yeah, you expect that film to be bad. You don't expect these films to be bad from filmmakers to the stories. Through line here, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Absolutely no, there's no excuse for what they put up there. There was nothing joyful about. That's our Indiana Jones. Everyone's here. All you guys in the chat, we all loved Indiana.
Yeah.
And you guys made him to be just a relic in his own movie. Oh, that's good. Robert Rodriguez came out with this movie called Hypnotic. Terrible.
Yeah.
And it had all the makings of being cool. Ben Affleck, noir, kind of thriller. Oh God, it was so bad. Very disappointed in him. Very disappointed in him. Yeah, one of my dogs even says so. Killers of the Flower Moon. There's a great movie in there. Just need to take an hour out. I was very disappointed in Scorsese. Very disappointed. All the Marvel films, complete garbage.
Oh.
Yeah, all this year. Not Guardians. I don't count Guardians as a Marvel film. So that's it, guys. We did it. Oh, wow. And no one left in the chat. Over 50 people still hanging out with us.
Wonderful.
Much love to everyone in the chat, all the super chats, all the memberships, all that good stuff.
Yes.
Let me just we have a, where did it go?
Your poll.
There it is. 100 votes. 2023 was just all right, 37%. 2 tacos short of a meal, 33%. The worst movie year, 18%. A good movie year, 10%. Just all right, I guess, is a winner. I think it was a really good year for film R&B.
I thought so too.
Yeah,
I really did.
And I am looking forward to the Napoleon cut. I actually am.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'll try.
We'll see.
I was very disappointed because I love Joaquin. I'll try.
Are they gonna do a hashtag release Napoleon cut?
Some people like the Flash, and some people liked Flash and Blue Beetle.
Okay.
Yeah, had a lot of potential. These disappointments are the reason I tune in. I hate to be disappointed by a movie. Well, there you go. Okay, my friends. Well, I want to give the stage to our wonderful panelists, my friend in person and here on these crazy things called the interwebs. Robert, what do you got going on for us?
Well, I've got my channel, the Burn Network, and still going to be doing all the shows on the Burn Network, probably doing more in 2024. The big thing I have going on is we're finishing up a new feature film that I produced called White Devils. That's based on a South African playwright's play, African Gothic. We're finishing that up, and I don't know when you'll be able to see it, but we're taking it out on the festival circuit. And then the thing that I've just finished, I'm producing an audio drama, and I'm working with writer Max Allen Collins, who wrote the graphic novel Road to Perdition that the movie was based on. And he has written, I'm wondering if I have one at arm's length. I don't, but he has written a series of 19 detective novels about a character named Nathan Heller. And Nathan Heller began his career in the early 30s as a cop in the Chicago PD, and he works his way up to becoming Private Eye to the Stars. And the novels span from the 30s to the end of the 60s so far. And the audio drama, we're going to adapt the first 2 books that deals with the assassination of Chicago Mayor Cermak. That's a true story. And the books themselves are always surrounding real historical events, and then this fictional character gets peripherally involved through various cases and things. But the audio drama that I'm going to be doing stars Todd Stashwick, who people saw as the Deacon on 12 Monkeys, or Captain Liam Shaw on Picard, Star Trek Picard season 3. And we've already done a proof of concept, a 12-minute proof of concept of the audio drama. And I've been telling people it's like a movie, but without pictures. and we're going to crowdfund it soon into the new year. So you'll be able to hear the proof of concept and find out more about that. And I'm very excited about that, because the proof of concept came out, I think came out really well. You'll all have to be the judge of that. Far be it for me to say that, but as always, I'd like to be judged on the work that we do.
Incredible channel, guys. If you're just finding out about RMB, just subscribe now and check out all his wonderful stuff. Thank you, my brother, for being here.
It was a lot of fun, man.
It was a lot of fun. I have one more question for you guys before we do the.
And I can't wait to go watch Struggle's review of The Color Purple.
Oh,
Dude, that review yesterday was wild. And speaking of wild, what you got going on, girl?
You already know, Paulie, there is an overflow of content up on the channel. Not only do I review movies, but I review throwback movies that are up through paywalls. So for $50 to $100, depending on what you are trying to purchase, I do discuss old movies. Now, what is coming up in the chamber, which is great, while we were sitting here talking, someone finally bought some Tim Burton and they paid for Beetlejuice. I am looking forward to talking about that. I get to dress up and be Beetlejuice. That's going to be really awesome. That's going to be really, really awesome. But as far as what's coming up recently, I have, let's see, Warriors is coming up. Someone paid for the Warriors. That's coming up this week.
Have you watched it yet?
I have not.
Okay, I got. Have you ever seen it?
No, it's my first time.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
I've been hearing it.
It just came out on a 4K disc. Because there's two different versions of the movie. Only watch the theatrical version.
Okay.
Don't watch the horrible director's cut.
Okay.
You're in for a treat.
Okay,
a treat.
But that's coming up. Before that, Romeo Must Die is coming up, as well as Queen of the Damned. Clearly somebody loved Aaliyah. Those two are coming up. And The Long Kiss Goodnight. So be on the lookout for those, as well as all of the other, purchases that are coming up. But shout out to the person that paid for Beetlejuice. This is a new person. Thank you and welcome to the Struggle Reviews Club.
Wow.
And I think we're talking about finally, we're going to figure out the details, but I think we're going to do a weekly live stream. Weren't we talking about that? Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I put you on I didn't put it on the spot. I just probably just, oh yeah, that's right.
Well, no, because I have a lot of, a lot of conversations. So I'm like, if we did,
no, there's only one with me.
Paulie.
Only one with me.
Oh,
Anyways,
okay.
I'm gonna work it out. I'm gonna get this woman to commit to a weekly magazine show with me. We'll have a blast. I'll do all the homework for it. Don't worry about it. You just show up and dazzle us with your beauty and brains. How about that?
I'll try.
See, sold sounds good. Yeah,
Sold.
Production.
Nice.
What are you guys looking forward to for 2024 for as far as Hollywood and film?
Oh god,
That'll be the last thing.
Dune 2.
I have no clue.
I'm looking forward to Dune 2, and I'm looking forward to Wolverine or Deadpool 3.
Oh yeah, definitely looking forward.
Anything here comes
Beetlejuice 2, of course. There is another. I don't know. From that trailer, I'm having questions about Furiosa. I hope it's good. Jesus.
I mean, there's a lot of good stuff here. Joker, Folly Do, Alien,
The
Kingdom of the
Karate
Planet of
Kid.
the Apes. Yeah, new Karate Kid.
That's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Quiet Place, Day One, new
Argyle.
Bad Boys. These are all pretty good. I'll watch all these.
Ghostbusters?
I looked at the premise for Gladiator 2. It could work. I'm looking forward to it. I just don't want them to mess up a classic. Like, we've come too far to mess that up. There is a movie that's coming that's very like Beetlejuice adjacent that's coming out really soon, but I can't remember. It feels very Tim Burton-esque. It feels very dark, like Heathers or something, but I can't think of the title.
Yeah, I mean, look at all this stuff. It's not a lot of well, I don't know. It looks like there could be some good stuff here. I don't know. We'll see.
I see a lot of part 2, part 4,
Yeah.
like some new stuff.
A lot of sequels.
A lot of sequels.
But
What's
right.
If?
Oh,
If-
if
It
is
stands for
Ryan Reynolds.
imaginary friend.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the new movie that John Krasinski directed that stars Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that could be
Okay.
good. You
Joker.
got Bad Boys,
Yeah.
Mm.
and you got Argyle. So it could be some good stuff. Oh, and Maxine is coming out. If anyone's a fan of Pearl or X,
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I see
believe
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes up there.
I can't
Oh,
wait.
did I just take it off?
Yeah, with that.
Bring it on.
Yeah,
Hmm.
we would love the collaboration. Yeah, see, there you go. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen,
Thank you, Mega.
right? Maxine,
Yes, there's a Beetlejuice 2 coming out. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
it's filmed,
Yeah.
completed a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Maxine's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that. I loved Pearl.
Hmm.
All right,
Yeah.
guys, we're out of here. We are out of here. We're gonna do a hard out, okay?
All right.
And on the count of 3, everyone say production. 1, 2, 3.
Production.
Production.